And we are live here at Atlanta Motorsports Park in beautiful Dawsonville, Georgia. Hi, I'm Will Rigdon alongside Stephen Newbold, ready for another exciting day of kart racing action here on the 0.85-mile track, 17 turns. Atlanta Motorsports Park, AMP Kart Racing. It's the kart circuit at Atlanta Motorsports Park. Try saying that 5 times fast, Steve.
AMP Kart Racing, AMP Kart Racing, AMP Kart Racing. Okay, there we go. I got it 3 times.
And we are getting ready to go. Round 2. Got a 9-race season that is underway right now. We're going to be back here next month for the doubleheader race, so we're getting excited for that.
That's a Saturday, Sunday
That's
show. That's what, the 18th and 19th, correct?
Yeah, it's going to be the weekend before
17th and 18th.
Memorial Day. So it's going to be a fun one. We'll be up here announcing, covering both days of action. But right now, we're fixing to get ready to go with the finals. So they've already run the pre-finals. We're just about to come off that hour-long lunch break. And up first, looks like we've got the tag rookie division. Should be getting ready to go. Not sure if we can see them over there at the pre-grid, but great drone shots from AlumaCube Engineering, Jeffrey Farver right now. He's the one piloting the Skycam today. We've also got Daryl Killboy Cannon on the program here. He's going to be flying FPV. He'll be flying some Skycam as well. So great to have the two of them here flying for us. We also got Ethan Denny, Cowboy Cam himself, out there at the cut-through. He's going to be getting all those great shots for us. We've got David Lane up on the tower. He's going to be getting our tower cam shots. We got the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mikey Lemon Drop Lane, on the computer right now. He's going to be cutting, running live instant replay. We've obviously got Big Steve here up in the booth with me. And we've also got Michaela Denny back here running the graphics and generally fixing anything that messes up on the broadcast. That's usually something I used to do. But we've unfortunately been running short on talent here recently, so now I've got to sit in the booth. And
talent? Lack thereof, you mean?
Yeah. And so, of course, me up here in the booth, that leaves all the running around for Miss Michaela to help. You know, cameras go down, need battery changes, graphics on the screen. She does a great job. She's one of the OGs. Back in the very beginning when we got this broadcast started, it was me, her, the old guy that used to do marketing for Primal. He was on the drone, and then we had my dad announcing. So that was quite the ensemble from where this whole thing started to where we are today right now.
That was the very, very beginning.
That was way back in the early days. So I think that was back when you still worked as a corner marshal here, Steve.
I think I was.
Are we with the Postal Service by then?
I was probably working at the post office by that point in time.
Yeah, you were only here for about the first year I was here. So.
Yeah.
But as always,
Many
glad
years
to have you back. So the Will and Steve show is always fun, and you can see those tag rookies down there. They are getting ready to go. They got parents there holding the umbrella. Man, I wish I had somebody to do that for me when I was walking around the paddock. Just keep the shade off you, though. I could tell you it is a hot one here today. Definitely doesn't feel like an April race day.
No, it's mid-80s, kind of not exactly what we were expecting. Track temperature's probably pushing around upper 90s, low hundreds right now. Maybe a little bit warmer than that, but you know, it's a little different seeing how warm it is this early in the year, which can only mean one thing.
And if I'm not mistaken, you went around and talked to some of these drivers. Do we have any of the tag rookies queued up, ready to go, Mikey?
Yeah, we might have one new one.
These guys are always great. I love the young drivers are always fun to interview because you never know what they're going to say. It's either going to be a yes, no kind of interview, or
they're going to take the microphone from your hand and be like, I don't know what to do with my hands, and eat the mic. That's always fun. So it looks like we got 5 competitors on the roster for Tag Rookie today. So in the 00, Mason O'Donnell. In the 24, Isaiah Williams. And the 33, Luca Valdez. And in the 55, Nazar Martinieco. And in the 115, Ryan Dehoney. So there's 5 drivers out there today in the rookie class. They just pinged on the loop, and you see them coming in the bottom of our screen right there. Probably get a nice little hot lap going before we get them going.
Yeah, these 2 strokes, they get them a warm-up lap to get started. So we should see them start to come off the gas here as they make their way through the back side of the track here, coming up through turn 13.
round one was pretty exciting.
Yeah, a lot of action. Had a fun LO senior race, and
Oh, yeah.
definitely going to have another fun one here today.
Yeah, I don't know the exact cart count on the LO division, but as you can see, there's
Yeah,
well,
great.
it shows
Some great drone shots here. Really impressive. There we go.
It's slowing them
And
down.
Getting them low down, and we're about to get underway. Let's see.
Nope, wave off.
Oh, they're going to call this one around.
Yeah, it looks like we're missing one driver. I only see 4 carts out there on
Yes,
the
and I
track.
see a mystery transponder on there as well.
Yeah, that's my favorite driver.
Yeah, waiting for data.
Waiting for
That's
data.
everybody's favorite driver.
Favorite driver at a dirt track, favorite driver at a kart track, you know.
He gets around.
Yeah, he comes around. I thought Weber Valley picked him up last week.
I'm sure he's signed with Weber Valley. That's his
Probably.
official sponsor.
Gage Martinez, you know, those guys.
And let's see if we can get this done on the second time. By some great drone shots there. Daryl Killboy Cannon with
Another
that
wave off.
FPV drone. Yep, man, they've got to get it woe down. Now, this is one of the youngest divisions that we have, so these guys obviously are going to be – yeah, it's going to take a couple rounds to get it right, but that's what we're here for. This is a learning track. That's why you sign up, become a member. Oh, we're waiting on somebody. That was the holdup.
Maybe.
But the thing is you come out here to learn, and that's the beautiful thing about the membership models. You get a lot of track time, and we host these monthly races.
Well,
and there we go. We're underway. Sorry, I took your thunder, Steve.
Oh, it's all good.
And let's see as Isaiah Williams leads the pack through turn 1, everybody diving into turn 2, keeping it fairly clean right now. These tag carts do about 60 miles an hour, and the age range is 7 to 9 on these guys. So some of the youngest drivers we have out here as they make their way past our position here in the booth down the back straightaway, getting these carts all the way up to top speed. And look at this, Ryan Dahoney making the move, coming down the back straightaway.
He's probably going to make his move right here, entering the S's. If not there, he's going to attempt probably in 14 to get around Martin Yanko.
And they are hot on each other's bumper. Closest battle on track right now, the battle for second between Martin Yanko and Dahoney. Williams starting to pull out a little bit. And look at these guys coming through 14, getting that thing squirrely. He tried to make a move there, Steve.
He did. Almost a slide job-esque type driving line right there, but he closed the door on him. 1 lap in, Isaiah Williams, your leader, Ryan Dahoney in second, Nazar Martin Yanko in third, Luca Valdez in fourth, Mason O'Donnell is currently fifth.
He is going to be on his back foot now. I think Dahoney, that held him up a little bit. Now Dahoney's going to have to claw his way up to try and catch Isaiah Williams. Williams there running the fastest lap that last time. But Dahoney in traffic, let's see now that he's got some clear runway ahead of him if he's going to be able to claw back that deficit right now.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of uphill battling.
Yeah,
no pun intended there with the elevation changes.
I mean, Isaiah Williams is almost a full second faster that last lap. So
yeah, I mean, right now the separation, almost 1.5 seconds, 1.3 seconds is the separation.
Now let's see if that goes down this time by, because Dahoney's had a lot of clean track. So we're going to see as they make their way through 14. Everybody keeping fairly clean. You know, this is what we like to see out of these young guys. You know, this is the fastest division that the really young guys can get into. You know, prior to this, you get started on the kids course, and then they upgrade to the LOs on the full track, and then they upgrade to these 2-strokes.
So as it's reflecting here, it's showing about a 2-second margin now between first and second place.
He gained another half second, so Williams is starting to pull away with this one. You can really see the gap here from the kink cam. Great shot. That thing's right in the splash zone.
I'd say probably, 20, 30 car lengths?
Yeah, no, he is pulling away from him right now. And that's the big difference when they go from the 4-strokes into the 2-strokes is these karts are a lot more finicky. They're a lot more dependent on tune and setup, and they can pull away from each other. So driver skill definitely on display here. It's not as much of a pack race as what we see with the LO206s. And right now we are following along with Daryl Cannon, Killboy.com, right behind Isaiah Williams as he makes his way through turns 16 and 17 onto the front straightaway. And that is going to put lap number 3 in the books. This is a 12-lap contest here today, so a little bit of a format change from last season to this season. So if you are a longtime watcher of kart racing here at Atlanta Motorsports Park, you'll notice we shortened the pre-finals down to 8 laps, and so we're keeping the finals at 12 laps. So really going to change up some of the strategy for these guys, especially going from pre-finals to finals, because that race is getting 50% longer.
Yeah.
Imagine if all racetracks did that.
Just 50% longer race day?
Yeah, on the do a qualifying race and then
I'd probably be at the track all night.
Well, I don't know if that would work for dirt racing.
Oh, God, no.
Y'all stay there until 2 a.m.
God,
anyways.
No. Yeah. I don't want to be there till 4 a.m.
Yeah, my wife wasn't happy with me the one time I did that.
Hey, I had you covered for me. I appreciate it.
Hey, you missed quite the race, too. 130 entries that time. Oh, man, you got –
I got my phone blowing up.
So your fans are blowing you up right now, Steve.
And my only fans,
Yeah, shout out to Steve's wife, his only fan.
Yeah, no, that wasn't my wife. That was actually my other boss.
Yeah, Mikey's on here. This is a family show, guys.
We're running out of material 4 minutes into this.
And these guys are definitely starting to gap out right now. Let's take a look around the track, see if we can find some better. Looks like these guys are fairly spaced out. So between first and second, 6 seconds. Between second and third is 7 seconds. And then it looks like Dahoney's already having some trouble. He's fallen off. He is a lap down. And then Mason O'Donnell behind him.
And Mason O'Donnell was about 18
and
seconds
I'm not sure
off
if
pace.
Dahoney pulled off track or if that's a transponder issue.
I have not
Yeah, because
seen
he's now
Dahoney come
falling
around.
down, so I think he pulled off track.
Yeah, I would assume Dahoney's off track, 2 laps down. The difference between third and fourth now.
And that's a shame, too, because this is the points race.
The difference now between third and fourth is roughly 50 seconds. Almost a whole lap.
And it's looking like Williams about to catch up into traffic here.
I would think that's what's going on here. Let's see how he handles the traffic. So what you're seeing on the screen there, I believe, is the battle for second and third. A little bit of under-over action going on right there. I don't know if that cart was a off-pace cart. Looks like it's the 115 of Dahoney.
Yeah. Oh, so he might be back on track now. So maybe he got.
I don't know what happened to cause him to go 2 laps down, though, because.
And again, that could be a transponder because they're both getting around lap traffic. So that's, I believe that's O'Donnell.
On the top end?
No, that everybody's passing right now. That's at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, because that was Isaiah Williams and Martin Yanko that just got
that's
by.
a 00 that we're looking at right there on the screen.
Yeah, so no, Dahoney's still off track. So that was first and second. And that doesn't look like an 8-second gap. We're going to have to see next time by.
Yeah, that can't be an 8-second gap. There's no way.
Unless that's more lap traffic.
Have to be. Yeah, because it's showing O'Donnell a lap down.
Well, we're going to have to see when they get by. They were having some trouble with the scoring loop this morning. We've had a lot of rain in the area, and sometimes that can make things a little hectic. But hats off to the team. They were hustling their butts off today when we showed up to get everything fixed and running.
I have been there with the struggle with timing and scoring at this facility. Oh, my Lord.
That's probably the
I never, ever want to see that again.
That is a universal constant. Doesn't matter what track you're at.
I've done the My Laps thing at different tracks, and I will say I'd never want to see it again from a personal standpoint.
So that gap right now at 9.2 seconds between first and second.
Big hand for our timing and scoring for all the hard work
race
they
control,
do.
just keeping it cool. They got to deal with a constant stream of racers coming up there all day.
At least it's not hand scored because that gets rough.
Not like the old days of racing.
We've done it before. We did it one time with 122 drivers.
Oh, man.
And that was the most difficult thing I've ever experienced in my life.
And right now we are just behind Nazar Martin Yanko. That's the driver we're watching. You can see that gap all the way up to first place. He has got a mountain to climb. We are just over halfway, 7 laps into this 12-lap contest right now. And that is your leader right there, the number 24 of Isaiah Williams. Actually, no, it's not. He just crossed the finish line, so that is lap traffic. That actually might be our mystery driver because they're not picking up.
That might be Dahoney.
I bet you that is Dahoney.
Yeah, because Dahoney should be sitting about second or third.
Yeah, he's not. So that's okay. Mystery solved, gang. So yeah,
we do stand up on the weekends.
Yes.
We're not good at it, but we do it.
Yeah. Shows at 1, 5, and 10, folks.
Oh, we're about an hour late.
Yeah.
Oops.
We do special kids show at 1.
Yeah.
And right now we are watching some of our youngest drivers on track right now. This is the tag rookie division. These guys are 7 to 9 years of age, running the 60cc Mini Swift Yami engines. These things get up and go. Imagine putting your 7-year-old in a 60-mile-an-hour go-kart.
I'm down.
So are all these parents. So having a great time watching their kids out there. And these are all the guys, they've been racing since they were 5.
Yeah, most of these kids,
Usually
they started off in our Comer
Yes.
Kid Kart division or the Kid LO206 division.
And they'll soon be graduating up to the senior division once they go. Actually, they'll go to the junior division, and then they go to the senior division. But
Is it based off weight or age?
I think a little bit of both.
Okay.
And
For me, it would be based off weight, obviously.
Usually there's a gap there in that tag junior division because we see a lot of tag seniors, but the guys will go up to LO juniors or LO seniors because that's where there's a lot of drivers, especially if you're wanting to get more competition.
Oh, yeah. All over the southeast, really.
But great to see this field out here running because these are the next generation of racers. And, you know, if we don't start them young and keep feeding the sport, there's going to come a time where it dries up. And so hats off to the guys here at Atlanta Motorsports Park for doing what they do and keeping racing alive. So, you know, there's not a lot of junior divisions. We were out at Durhamtown a couple weekends ago. Great to see their junior division. They had about 15 drivers out there in their kids side-by-side division.
Yeah, you were talking to me about doing that, and I unfortunately was calling another race.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's the side-by-side racing just seems so entertaining.
No, it's great. We saw more rollovers than I think I've seen in 5 seasons here, and they just literally flip them back over and they keep running. It's insane to watch. Yeah,
a little dirt on it.
As long as it still drives.
So 2 laps to go. Isaiah Williams still your leader. Nazar Martinenko scored 2nd. Luca Valdez scored 3rd. Mason O'Donnell scored 4th, and Ryan Dahoney has scored 5th. But we believe there might be a transponder issue.
I believe Dahoney is in the 2nd position right now.
I'm not.
So that's the mystery driver between Martin Yanko and Isaiah Williams. So maybe you forgot to put that thing on the charger last night, the transponder. We've seen it happen before.
Oh, yeah.
And these things can be finicky sometimes with the go-karts because they run the special yellow transponder, so they don't charge as much for the yellows, which are the karting transponders, but they're not as strong, so you have to have them mounted real close to the ground.
Yeah.
And that was something we tried doing with autocross, and we found we basically had to dangle them off the bottom of the car for it to read because they're meant to be on the front bumper of these go-karts mounted, 2 inches off the ground, but if you don't remember to plug them in, it's not going to read. So.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to assume because that's obviously a very rookie mistake to do. So
I mean, I would make that mistake.
And these guys have been out here for a hot minute. Dahoney, he started in kid karts, and great to see him up here running in the tag rookie division. And what we want to see, man, get your kids out here, get involved. We have the Junior Discovery Program. Great way to get your kid into one of these karts. As Isaiah Williams takes the checkered flag, I know he's going to be happy down there. And let's see who we got coming up next. This should be, I believe this is Dahoney. Yeah, we're not going to see anything tick off our screen right there. And, yep, there goes Martin Yanko just getting around Mason O'Donnell. So Mason's going to finish 2 laps down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dahoney had a transponder issue there.
I think Valadez is still out there. But Dahoney, I'm pretty sure, had a bum transponder. So we're going to have to see how timing and scoring does that one. We'll find out at the podiums.
There's Valdez.
And there goes Valadez. So your official results as they're scored on Race Monitor: Isaiah Williams in 1st, Nazar Martinenko in 2nd, Luca Valadez in 3rd, Mason O'Donnell in 4th, Ryan Dahoney in 5th, but I believe Dahoney was actually 2nd, so that's going to bump Martin Yanko and everybody behind him on down a position. So we'll find out. I guess we'll get the podium, so we'll just be as surprised as you guys are. And so coming up next, we got Tag Senior, Tag Master. Let's go ahead and meet some of our drivers.
We're here with another driver underneath the Will Bite Racing tent. Can we get your name, please?
Jose Garcia.
Jose, what's your cart number?
00.
And how long you been coming out here?
Since the track was built. Yeah. 2012, I think.
And what division are you running today?
LO206 Master and Tag Master.
Always running multiple divisions. Good luck today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And that's Mr. AMP himself,
Yep,
Jose Garcia.
Jose is.
We saw him do a doubleheader one time when we had Karts back here and main track up front, and he ran his Miata, came back here, ran his tag.
Parked the Miata on Access Road, jumped in the cart, went back for the final in the Miata race.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, he won that Miata race.
Absolute machine out here, and a great competitor. Probably done as many laps as anybody out here on this track. So
I'd say he's doubled anybody.
Yes. And you said you had another one, Mikey? Did we get any tag seniors in this one? Yeah, well, we're looking at nothing. Oh, there it goes. It came back.
It said, uh-oh.
It said, I don't want to work right now. But great to talk to the guys. I appreciate you showing up early, Steve. I know that's a hard call to,
well, if you're not early,
be here,
late.
be here at 11 so we can start filming everybody. But Steve's a great guy.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
We appreciate having you walk around, interview everybody.
And
this is something we're going to be doing this season. We're going to try and have fresh interviews for you every race day. So we'll get down there. Anybody that wants to talk to us, if you can hear us out there, tell your kids, come talk to us. If you see us out there, we're usually during the pre-finals, we'll hit the paddock and walk around and grab interviews so that way we can run them on the stream. So
now, as you saw, I was not in my usual attire.
Yes, you dressed loud today, Steve. Tell me about this attire you got.
So this attire we've got on is actually a Budweiser racing jersey. For those of you that celebrate, Casey Kane Friday.
Yes, that is.
Casey Kane Friday is very important to me. Well, Casey Kane is a driver that I've grown to love when I was younger. But Casey Kane officially came out of retirement today to run in the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Rockingham. So I figured, why not rock the Rookie of the Year?
And we can segue this because there's a nice big Budweiser on your shirt as the main sponsor. Guess what we're selling at Kart Track here coming up as soon as we get this restaurant open?
Are we selling Anheuser-Busch products?
We're selling booze. It's going to be fun. I saw that. They told me today when I was
bring your koozie. We're about to have some fun up here.
I was coming up last night to drop off batteries and get some stuff set up for today. And I don't know if you noticed, there's a new storage room next to the elevator. And I was like, what's going in there? And they said, oh, it's going to be the booze closet. It's going to be the booze locker. And I was like, heck yeah.
Don't mind if I do. Well, it looks like we got a bunch of karts coming on track now. So we got introduced to Jose Garcia. He's in the 00. Eugene Panenko in the 7. Kyle Clark in the 25. Nicholas Pearson, 27. Joe C. Davis in the 31. Chris Butler in the 42. Ian Drennan in the 96. Sean Atkins in the 332. Leonardo Prates in the 120. The 88.
You just started on seniors there. So we've got the first 12 are in Masters, so huge Masters division. And right now we're looking at the seniors who are hitting the stripe first. So that's going to be Leonardo Prates, Ryan Crosby, mystery driver, and Caden Butler. And then behind them is going to be the Masters. And this is going to be the race we want to watch here. We have got 12 drivers here in the Masters division. And normally we're not showing these guys some love, but they've got more drivers today. So we are going to watch these guys as they come barreling into turn 2, keeping it
almost 3
together.
wide there.
Yes, look at that. Some action heating up in the back. And right now, Jose Garcia leading that gaggle of karts right now as they come across turns 3 and 4 down the kink. Look at them wrestling those things. They're trying to get those tires set in. Those karts are very loose as they're starting to get heat. And here comes a challenge for the lead in the Masters division.
That's an under-over job going on. I want to say that's Rylan Crosby in the – oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong division.
You're looking at the seniors.
Let's see. Let's go back a little bit. So that's Kyle Clark.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see as they cross the stripe here, the official running order. Don't trust anything you see on lap 1.
It's not always accurate. There you go. Alongside us is our wonderful timing ticker.
And so that is Ian Drennan made the pass on Kyle Clark. So he is your current leader in
big
Tag
pile
Master.
up down there at the bottom of turn 2.
And are these these look like a couple of senior drivers.
That's 2 karts. Let's get a kart number. So it looks like the 199. So that would be
Caden Butler and the 376 of
that's Ryan
Crosby. So
that was 3rd and 4th.
Yeah,
when
so
they
that's
came across the line.
Yeah, and that's going to take senior battle down to 2 drivers. So
yeah, well, it's 2 of the best out here. That's Leonardo Prates and Ozcheek the
Yeah,
fourth.
and we might need to check on them here in a minute because they are only at a 0.2-second gap right now. But we are currently watching the battle for first and tag master. That's Ian Drennan and Kyle Clark right now. And we got a decent battle behind them for third place. That's Josie Davis, Sean Atkins, and Jose Garcia.
So as they cross the line there, Leonardo Prates, Ozcheek the fourth, Ian Drennan, Kyle Clark, Josie Davis, Sean Atkins, Chris Butler, Jose Garcia, and then Rylan Crosby and Caden Butler.
And that was actually Chris Butler got around Jose Garcia, so Garcia now
Here we go.
down
Into
another
the kink,
position.
almost too wide.
Oh, you never go too wide in the kink.
No. I mean, you can. We've seen what happens.
This is
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, you go do some off-roading. Yeah, put a big 0-1 on the side of that thing and slap a Confederate flag across the plate. Do some
Dixie horns.
Do some Dukes of Hazards. Yeah, we've seen it happen too.
Plenty of times. I've done it personally.
And right now, first and second in the Masters division starting to pull away. Your biggest battle right now looks to be that battle for third. And that's going to be Sean Atkins and Chris Butler.
I don't know what to cover here, Will.
Or no, sorry, they moved up my screen. That's Josie Davis and Sean Atkins battling out for third right now. Chris Butler and Jose Garcia just behind them.
See, I don't know what to cover. I mean, there's racing action all over the track, and it's kind of hard.
And these guys are starting to spread out. These laps are going to tick down fast, so maybe we go try and find our leaders in Tag Senior here. I'm not sure where they are. They should be about a mile ahead of these guys because they are still at a 0.2-second difference.
They just crossed the line.
So that is going to be your closest battle right now on track.
They should be coming up. Yep, right there, right into turn 3. So we see the 88 has got around Leonardo Prates. So Ozcheek the fourth, your current leader.
And big shout out to the crew here for just switching by my passive commands here.
Mikey said it's not that easy.
Yeah, we need to pipe him in like they do on radio shows when the producer just chimes in. Although he's usually over there cussing, get the shot. I don't care. Mikey turns into a diva when the show starts. So
Same.
Yeah, you especially you, Steve.
Let me tell you about
You
it.
put the B in Queen Bee, Steve.
The B in the talent B.
Something like that. And right now we're watching that battle. Look at that. Ozcheek getting around Leonardo Prates. So new leader in Tag Senior. Although Prates running the fastest lap of the race. And here he goes.
Side by side.
Up around the side. Let's see. Great shot by Tower Cam there as we are back on the chase drone, following them down the back straightaway. And let's see if Prates is going to try it again. He tried to get around him, but you've got to straighten up when you're going through the kink. And this is something Prates isn't used to having, this kind of competition. I'm glad to see Ozcheek out here running in the 2-strokes. We normally see him in the shifter division.
Oh, a little bit of a bobble there from Prates. He recovers from that, but a little bit more separation now when they cross the line. So it's going to be roughly about, I'd say, almost 0.4 of a second.
Yeah, let's see. According to timing, scoring 0.3. But it's definitely closer than that because these guys are definitely accordioning at certain points. I mean, they're practically shoving each other through the turns.
I wonder if they're running close to the same gears because, I mean, they look like they're pretty evenly contested all the way through. And if one of them makes a mistake, that's kind of where the positions shift a little bit.
And that's where I think track conditions today are really dictating this because it's a lot warmer than they were expecting.
Yes. I mean, like I was saying before we got started, air temperature is 84 degrees. We're probably looking at a solid 99 to 105 degree track temperature, if not warmer. So that's definitely going to eat your tires a little different.
With the hotter temperature and the stickier tires, you might want to, size down a tooth or size up a tooth, I guess, in the rear sprocket to try and get a little bit more pull out of the turns.
Man, we're starting to sound like Larry McReynolds up here. I don't know.
I just heard somebody talking about it in the pits.
Al Edwards, maybe?
Yeah. And what was that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Mikey was saying we need a cutaway cart.
Yeah, that would be cool, like that they do in the NASCAR broadcast.
We need Al Edwards for this.
I know. We need to put the cutaway cart under the Wilbite tent.
Yeah. Let Al take over.
Yeah, we need to do more segments with Al. I told him he needs to get his butt back up here in the booth. He's
racing today.
Well, he started racing again this season, so
I think his wife said, "Hey, let's do it."
Yeah,
so he's like,
him,
"All right."
I told him I missed him up here.
Baby, come back.
Yeah.
You can blame it all on Will.
Don't get us kicked off air, Steve.
Look, my terrible vocals, okay?
You only get 10 seconds until they copyright strike us. So
okay.
Yeah, we are still
What about
watching.
the Beatles?
Yeah, no, stay away from them and Metallica. But right now, we are watching that battle for the lead. Oz Cheek, the fourth, fending off Leonardo Prates as they go barreling down the back straightaway. These Tag Senior karts capable of speeds of 90 miles an hour here, and one of the longest straightaways of any kart track in North America. These guys definitely airing out that high-speed gear as they come down and into that real tight 180. So always fun to watch the guys, barreling into turn 9. That's why it's got that huge runoff. But what doesn't have a huge runoff is the final two turns here, 16 and 17. That tire wall, that comes up on you quick.
And and it hurts. Boy, does it hurt.
And, you don't see how much speed these guys are getting coming through 14.
It looks like they're trying to signal each other they want to work together, which is a little weird. There's 3 laps to go.
I don't think they know the rest of the field is
way back there.
Yeah.
They still haven't crossed the line yet.
No, and it looks like we've had a couple guys fall off the back here from the – oh, no, those are our 2 guys that got up in Tag Senior. And then Nicholas Pearson never took the grid, so right now it seems like Tag Masters has all but broken up, so this is your closest battle on the track, and they're about to hit some lap traffic here as the seniors have made their way all around the track and about to start catching some of these Masters drivers. So we're going to have to see here. I believe that's either Sean Atkins or Chris Butler that they're coming up on. Let's see if he's going to yield and let them by here.
No blue flag yet.
Yeah, he's holding out the hand like, what gives, guys? Oh, hey, here he is. He heard me talking in the paddock.
My singing brought Al back.
Yeah, he sang you a whole song.
Yeah, I sang Al a whole song.
He was up here, baby, come back.
That's almost scary.
And right now we've got 2 laps to go in this 12-lap contest. Oz Cheek, the fourth, still staying out in front of Leonardo Prates. Prates he was your pole sitter, and Oz Cheek got around him about lap 4, lap 5?
Lap 4 he got around him.
And they have been pretty much glued to each other's bumper here, so we got about a lap and a half left. Let's see what happens here as they're making their way through 14.
White flag should be coming out as they come around the final corner.
Let's see if he's got anything left in the tank here.
And the white flag is out.
I almost feel like it was sped up there for a second.
Yeah, I know.
We are now frenemies.
Uh-oh. Should you even be up here calling this one?
Hey, that's okay. Let me tell you something about Leo. Leo Prates, he's been around a long, long time. If you go back to 2018, world worst kart crashes in the world, he's the one who filmed my flip.
Oh, dang.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I was standing in turn 3.
Hey,
Oh,
look
he's
at
going
this.
to go for a move here. Maybe do an
Oh.
over-under. He's going to get underneath him. They're
Oh.
side by side. Whoa, not going to make it work.
They were almost touching tires there,
Woo.
and he backed off. And that's going to allow them to accordion a little bit. Let's see, he's going to have one more shot here coming through the final 2 turns.
This is going to be 16 and 17. Haymakers being thrown now.
But I don't think he's going to – he lost a little bit too much momentum
did.
there. And that is going to give Oz Cheek, the fourth, the win. So congratulations to him. That was a hard-fought victory. And so now we're going to see these Masters. Ian Drennan, currently your leader. Let's see if he's able to hang on here as they're going to start making their way around. Great shot of the new starting stand here.
The thing's so nice.
I
It
know.
really is. You have to get used to it, though, because that's why I lost last month.
Oh, because you –
I didn't look.
oh, geez.
Right? I got distracted by another driver who ran me off the course here on the front stretch, and all of a sudden they were waving the white flag. And so when John Dixon got by me, I was like, I'll just go around through David's Bend because he got to my inside. So, gentlemen, I'm just going to let him by. I'll get you on the next lap. And we went across the stripe, and they were waving the checker. So I basically gave it away.
Jeez.
So it looks like we're going to get a pickup or 2.
I was the back of somebody's helmet there. But Ian Drennan crossed the line, fist pumping in the air, so big shout-out to him. Congratulations on the win for the Master Division. Only 2 drivers finishing for Tag Senior. Oz Cheek, the fourth, Leonardo Prates. That's going to be 1-2. And then in your Master Division, Ian Drennan, Kyle Clark, And, hey, look at that. Jose Garcia got his way up to third place. I know he's going to be excited.
Good.
Get himself a podium. Isn't that a Will Bite driver?
Yep, he is under the Will Bite tent now, and really glad to see him on the podium. Although I know he's not happy with third place.
No.
He prefers to be in first.
Yeah.
And just behind him in fourth place, Joe C. Davis, Chris Butler in fifth, and Sean Atkins in sixth. And those were all the drivers. Actually, it looks like Sean Atkins pulled off on lap 6. But we had 12 drivers total in that battle, so great to see this division growing too.
Absolutely.
And coming up next, we've got the LO206
cadet
juniors.
Or juniors, yeah.
We got any videos for them, Mikey? Let's see if we got some interviews to roll here. Really want to get to know our drivers here. You know, put a face with the name. We're always up here, you know, trying to guess who's who down there on track. And
well, hey, one of the drivers I want to feature real quick is Nico Corpita. He's moved up this year. He's 13 years old. He moved up this year. He's on his brand new Eagle chassis, and he's doing quite well in it.
Oh, nice.
So he was in cadet, so he's learning a completely new platform with completely new players. And Nico was third last race, and I don't know where he is today. I'm hoping he'll pull off a podium. That would be really great.
Well, right now, as they're loading the data, it's showing him in fifth, but that we always don't trust that until they cross the stripe.
Yeah. Exactly.
And if my yeah, we can roll that one. I was gonna say if my vision was any better, you know, I'd just call him as I see him on.
We're here with our next driver of the afternoon. Can we get your name, please?
My name is Lincoln Massey.
Lincoln, what division do you run?
I won LO206 Junior.
How long have you been running this division?
About 4 to 5 years.
All right, good luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
Speed runs.
Yeah, I would say the quickest interviewer on the face of the planet, Steven Newbold here.
I was told to
How'd you change your shirt so quick?
You know.
It's almost like that one was from last month.
Oh, yeah, it was. So speaking of Lincoln Massey, Lincoln, according to this, is going to be starting on pole.
Yeah, I'll say Al's sitting in his seat right now, so you know the second this race is up, you're going to have to split.
I got to split anyway because I got to race.
So,
I'm actually racing today. So
and talking about that, how does it feel getting back in the seat?
I love it.
You look so much more like pep in your step. Like
I got to tell you, I'm tired. You know, I'll tell you right now. And let me tell you, John Dixon gave me a run for my money. He's a real gentleman. I really enjoy racing with him. And also Tim Clark. And so we were all bump drafting together. Missing Chris Kellett. I think Chris Kellett's down in Barnesville today. But, you know, either way, we're conflicting schedules, so we're going to have some more drivers kind of in and out and things like that. But that's all right. Mixes it up a little bit.
Well, we're definitely happy to have you up here talking with us because we've got a little bit of an extended pickup here. I bet they're grabbing those guys out of turn 2 right now.
We were talking about this just a second ago before you came up here. We need to get a cutaway cart and put it in the Will Bite Racing tent and have you just as our Larry McReynolds style. Like, we have questions about the cart. You're going to be, like, ripping that thing apart and be like, this is this, this is that, you know.
Happy to do it.
That'd be so cool to get a cutaway engine to be able to explain things on the LOs.
What's really funny is I'm getting ready to do a series with cutaways where I'm going to make some cutaways from carburetors especially because the carburetors are kind of voodoo. You know, people don't understand how the circuits work and things like that, and there's all this kind of voodoo with the engine builders about what you can do and things like, you know, and it's just like there's so much misinformation out there, fake news as we would call it. And so, you know, it's one of these things where I just want to do some educational series like I've done with the Hilliard clutches before, and it's going to be a whole bunch of fun. But I got to
bring him with you for May, and we'll send Steve down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, more like Mikey Jr. for a camera guy.
Yeah.
Hang out with him all day.
Well, no, you got to be the one up there asking all the dumb questions like, well, what does this do? You know, is that the part that goes bang? You know,
cart go vroom.
Yeah, so let's talk about the juniors. Juniors are going out there. They're on a 570 slide, a yellow slide. That's the way they do it in LO206 is they do slide restrictions instead of exhaust restrictions. So they do in two-stroke like micro and mini and junior KA100 and tag rookie and things like that. So these things are very sensitive, and a lot of guys will try and get them within, you know, 2,000ths of. We have a go-no-go gauge, right? And it doesn't really give you that much power. What really gives you the power, or what it seems like gives you the power, is having the right cart set up and being able to stay in it And you'll see some of these younger drivers, how they'll drop a shoulder or lean into the corner and things like that, especially in our cadet division. And, I just kind of say you almost forgot how to drive there, guys, because, leaning in is not a good thing. You got to let Mother Nature and Sir Isaac Newton take care of the way the kart is designed to handle. So, so the 570 slide restriction on these is the largest before you go to the senior slide, which is just wide open, right? There's no restriction on that.
And one of the things I love about the community out here is we have people like you, Al, that know this stuff. And, one of the myths I wanted to, just do away with about karting, because a lot of folks are scared to get involved because of the stuff you're talking about right now, because they don't know it. And they don't want to come out here. They don't want to be slow, and it's like, where do you start? And, you just come out here and talk to folks. We don't bite. Well, maybe you, because you're will bite. But
right.
I met the will bite pups earlier. They don't bite.
They're
just cuddly.
Nico Corpita's dogs.
But one of the things I love about AMP and the community here is everybody's so nice. And you can come up, ask questions, learn.
Yeah.
Get started. Everybody's willing to jump in and
help. The funny thing is that goes to a point, where if you're not on a team like ours, we give you all the help we possibly can, right? Because we want the team to do well. And we're doing real well today. If you're on an opposing team, when you're not a threat, we'll give you all the information you need as soon as you become a threat. And then all of a sudden,
once you join the other guys'
we'll kind of clam up,
Yeah.
But, in all actuality, there's lots of great information. There's lots of misinformation out of there. What we tell people is don't invest in an engine, in any kind of tuning, or what people will call blueprinting, which is against the rules. So they say I have a blueprinted engine, you can get DQ'd for even saying it. So, it's more on spend your money where you bring the most value. Spend your money on coaching, spend your money on tuning, on chassis setup, and getting to know the driver. And then you start, when you're running at the top levels, is when those little things that you do, all of them add up together to tenths and hundredths, and that's where it comes to. So, the seniors and the masters, top masters, we were like less than a tenth of a second between first and 10th position, right? That's how close this racing is. Restrictor plate racing, man.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably challenging.
It's the NASCAR of the kart.
It truly is.
And
truly
I
is
love it.
restrictor plate. And here we go. We're gridding up here for LO206 Junior. A little bit of a light field today. We're again conflicting with Barnesville and Trackhouse today, and so some of our team members have gone off to either
a lot of
Barnesville
racing in the South right now.
Yeah, there really is, especially today.
And what we love to see, because that means the sport's not going anywhere.
No.
So
a lot of drivers
and we've got
everywhere, too.
On the score sheet, Lincoln Massey out front, Luke Corman in second, Brady Hinkle in third, John Mark Nunnally in fourth, and Nico Corpita in fifth.
Well, Nico Corpita is actually in third.
And it looks
there.
like, he's inside on second row. So.
And here they go. Nico Corpita going right through, just blazing
Look
through.
at that, already up to second.
Pushing Lincoln Massey. Wow. Goes for, just pushes
are we
going
to see some competition for Lincoln today? Because that's something we've been waiting for.
Well, here's what's funny. I'm really hoping that Nico stays behind Lincoln and Luke in that battle, because he will learn more in this session than he will in days and days of coaching.
You were saying that this is his first race in this division, right?
A second, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
so
these being the four strokes, we shouldn't see anybody pulling too far out.
And here comes Luke Corman. Nico
Looking to the
Corpita is going to
inside.
kind of hold him off, but he's going to drop in, do an over-under. Nico Corpita
he gets
underneath takes it back.
He
Way to
gets him
go,
at the
Nico.
crossover.
Wow, that was a great maneuver by Nico Corpita. Now, I'll just tell you right now, Nico's a little bit slower than Luke, but that was a great comeback. Luke Corman on the inside of Nico Corpita there at David's Bend.
He gets by him.
Woo!
He didn't let back. He got hit with the crossover, and he said, well, I'm just going to do it again.
But here's Nico right there on his bumper. Look at that. He's bobbling a little bit. You see him sawing in the steering wheel a little bit there.
They're going to need to work together, because look at Lincoln Massey.
Yeah, he's running away with it.
He's already a second quarter.
Yep. So what we say is you stop racing and start working together. If you start working together, you stay in the draft and give each other bump drafts. 2 laps to go, that's when you start racing if you're that close.
And these races are long. I mean, 12 laps is a decent time out there.
Long time in a kart.
But if you spend the first half of the race fighting, for scraps, the lead's going to get away from you.
It will. And also then you have other people come running up on your tail, and you have to defend and try and be aggressive at the same time. So Nico's doing a late break there coming into turn number 9. And you see how he sucks back up to Luke Corman here through the S's. He's really getting an education here. They've all got their GoPros. These kids love their GoPros. And they study this footage, man. They watch it over and over and over again. Nico is doing incredibly well here. He's hitting those apexes. Wow. And, Lincoln, as usual, Lincoln just kind of is out for a Sunday drive today. He's doing a really good job, as he always does.
Well, we saw him earlier after the pre-final. He was just happy they started selling his
ice cream's
frozen
back.
Snicker bars.
Absolutely. We saw them there. I was, ice cream!
Lieutenant Dan, ice
Lieutenant
cream.
Dan.
That was literally how it was when I walked in. Because his first reaction was, Steve, ice cream.
So you saw where Nico cut it a little bit too far to the inside, and it stepped out on him, and he got a little bit of a bump draft there. Now he's trying to go around, but he's going to catch back up to Luke Corman, but he's got to be really smooth here. Otherwise, this driver that's behind him, that's John Mark Nunnally, is going to pass him.
And that looked like I think Hinkle got around Nunnally there because we saw a pass coming down the back hill.
Yeah, that might be Hinkle, Brady Hinkle.
I believe that's that number 12 car.
It's got Nico in
sandwiched
5th place, but Nico's clearly in 3rd.
71, yeah.
I wonder if his transponder's – no, yeah, his transponder's not picking up. It's not even showing he's ran a lap yet.
Well, that's crazy. He bobbled it a little bit there. Nico just locked it up just a split second there, and you saw how that cost him. If you mess up, man, it really costs you. But he's got some time. He can make it up.
Yeah, and that's Nunnally all over his bumper right
just
now.
pushing him.
So
if Nunnally's smart, Nunnally's just going to sit there and work with him because they can
laps.
make a double cart pass against Luke Corman here.
Well, I think Corman's happy to let them dust it up, but right now they're staying fairly.
They really
fairly
are. Nico's found some speed here, guys. I mean, it's not Lincoln Massey speed, but this is where the race is actually happening. Again, Nick, whatever his name is, out in first place. Lincoln. I almost call him his dad's name, Nick. He's out there for a Sunday drive. He's got this one locked up unless something else goes wrong, but that's not typical of Lincoln. But you see these guys looking behind him. Nico is on Luke Corman. He's giving him the bump draft signal here going through David's Bend.
And right now the closest battle is that battle for 2nd and 3rd.
Really is the battle. This is where the race is.
Yeah, Corman doing everything he can to fend
Yeah,
off
he keeps on
Torpedo.
looking back. You see how when he looked back, all of a sudden he went to the left. He looked back way too hard, and then Nico's right on top of him because he scrubbed some speed on. He's given a little bit of a signal there, almost like go around me, but
yeah.
Nico doesn't have the horsepower right now to do that. But look at Nico. Nico goes perfect through turn 2.
That's what I was thinking. He was pointing off to the right-hand side. Usually that indicates, hey,
go around me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little slower. Go around me.
And these are still
no,
young
he
guys
gave him the
out
bump
there.
draft signal. Look at this.
Let's see what happens when they go through the kink and into the bump draft. They're right on top of each other.
They need to work together if they're going to.
I mean, there's a 3 1/4 second gap between
They are
first
not
and
going
second.
to catch Lincoln Massey. That's just not going to happen at this point. But what they can do is they can run away from the 5th place guy. And they've got a really good gap ahead. There's Nico looking back over his shoulder, trying to figure out where he
Well,
is.
if Nunnally's going to be smart, he can just sit back and wait because once they start dusting up, as long as he doesn't get too far back.
That's right. But Nunnally's losing ground here.
He is.
Yeah, he's fallen off, I'd say, about half a second to 2 seconds.
And heat's definitely got to be a factor out here today.
It absolutely is. Later in the race, I told these guys to lower your tire pressures a little bit there. So you look at Nico. He got really aggressive there in turn 1. He kept it pinned, turned in. He just tapped the curb a little bit, and he's right back through turn 2. Wow, right on Luke Corman. Luke Corman is not used to this.
No.
He's not used to having someone run him down like this.
And we haven't really seen Torpedo try and make a move yet. He's just
he's being
single
smart. I'll tell you something about Nico. Nico is smart. He goes to Greater Atlanta Christian. He's a smart kid. He's very analytical, and he is going to play this a lot like Lincoln does. Because Lincoln's a very strategic driver. He's learned a lot from Lincoln being on the team, and so Lincoln gives him a lot of good advice and good coaching. And I can't be prouder of Nico. I'm about to come out of my skin. He's doing so well here, because he started in cadet. It was very frustrating for him, and the light switch has gone off with Nico here. It looks like, so it's turned on. He's starting to really get it. He's starting to get how to be smooth on the. And look where his hands are placed. He's really low on the steering wheel. He's pushing on that steering wheel. He's not sawing on that steering wheel really, really hard or anything like that. That cart is on rails.
Yeah, and he's definitely being real smooth out there.
Sure is.
And
Looks
that's what
over
you
his
wanna
shoulder
see,
where you're
yeah.
supposed to. Look at that. I mean, that's where you're supposed
And
to do it.
Corman eating a little bit of the curbing there. I wonder if that's slowing him down coming up the hill.
Yeah, it definitely is. He's pushing it. But look at Nico. He's going to suck back up on him here going
should.
through.
Yeah, so we're seeing a big gap here forming between third and fourth. I mean, it's roughly, I would say, about a second and a quarter at this very moment.
Yep.
And we
If
just
not
hit
longer.
we just hit the halfway point too in this race, so still a lot of racing left to go.
Yeah, there is.
I expect maybe 2 more laps before we start seeing some blows coming out here.
I hope that they run a clean race. Luke Corman is a pretty clean driver. He's been in some dust-ups, that's for sure. But, he was out there running with Talon Laney for the longest
And
time.
that is something I'll say. We didn't touch on this earlier, but last month's race, one of the cleanest race days I have seen out
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah, we
And
didn't
I
have
hope
any
that-
red
and
flags.
I hope
or-
the trend continues
Yeah,
today
me too.
because so far what we've seen has been great.
Mm.
And hats off to the crew. Hats off to all the drivers for really keeping it clean out there. That's what we want to see, especially in these younger divisions.
I guess those safety briefings have gotten a little bit more stern.
Yeah, I think Eli's put
Yeah.
the fear of God in a lot of these guys.
Well, let's talk about fear of God for a minute. When we've got a pretty strict, and complicated rule set as far as what we're allowed to drive in the paddock.
and they tightened down a lot this season,
really
too.
tightened down this season, and quite frankly, guys, the reason for this is insurance. In the national level, and GoPro for years, Trackhouse Track,
Yeah.
you haven't been able to ever even start a cart unless it's on a stand,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to wheel it all the way down, you have to hand carry it off, and you can't start it until you're on the grid, right? And that's an insurance thing, right? They want to keep people
It
safe.
is so much calmer in the paddock this season.
Oh,
I
my
mean,
Lord.
Truly is.
It is. It
Really
is
is.
so night and day, and,
Yep.
and I
We were
I
able
love
to-
the change.
We were able to ride a golf cart, the pedestrian cart, from the front all the way up to the tower.
without running
Okay,
anybody
now let's
over.
take a
Without
look
running
here.
anybody
Nico
over.
Corpita
Oh,
is
he's
just really caught up to Luke
He's
Corman
trying
here.
now.
He was bumping him through turn one.
I don't know if coming over the hill like that was the place to make the move.
No, but, he was right there. He's lost just a touch, but he's still within his draft. I mean, he can feel it.
Oh no,
Really,
he's
really
starting
good.
to size them up. They were pushing each other over the hill.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
and
they're-
Luke Corbin
they're-
keeps on
he's-
looking back. Going,
He's closing in on him.
yep, here he
He's
comes.
pulling it in, and yeah, we are on lap 8. So
Late braking. Look at this. He's going to catch him right back here through the S's. This is actually one of the hardest places to make up time, and Nico does this late brake technique, and he's maintaining that gap there. Let's see what happens
and
here.
Corman's starting to look again too. He
Yeah.
he didn't crane that head for about 3 or 4 laps.
Yeah,
now
he's
he's
nervous.
starting to. Well, he knows it's counting down, so they're going to be 3 to go next time by.
Lincoln Massey just crossed the
And
line.
look at this. Look at that. Look at that beautiful through turn 16. Nico just took that perfect.
And how about that drone shot? Practically sitting in the back seat of that go-kart
Yeah, you can
there.
almost read what's on the back of his helmet. Wow.
Hopefully nothing inappropriate.
No, not at all. Not at all. Look at him. He really got it through 2 there. Came back up on Luke Corman up the hill. He might not have enough to get by him here, but it's going to be really close. This kid's got a podium today. We're really super proud of him.
And this is the closest battle on track. That gap last time at
And here
the line.
he comes. See, he's coming up a little bit. I think he's on that rev limiter pretty hard right there. And late braking. Look at that. Whoosh. Right late braking. And he is – look at that. He is
He's starting
made
to
up a cart length right
He's
there.
starting to feel it out. I expect next time by it's going to be
It's going to be
Gloves
on.
off.
Yeah.
It's going to be on. I can't wait for this.
oh,
So
look at
Lincoln
this. They
Massey's
are-
just now coming through 17,
Yeah,
so he should
Lincoln's
be crossing
what,
the line.
12 seconds ahead right now.
Yeah, they are
Yeah, give or take.
bumped.
Oh, he's going to the inside. Here comes Link. Oh my gosh. Nico Corpita
Oh.
to the inside of Luke Corman. Luke Corman gives him a look. Oh, my gosh. Where did you come from, kiddo?
He thought about it, but
Yeah, he did.
he didn't quite have the run there. But let's see as they go diving into 2 right now. Back up the hill.
I am absolutely in stitches right now, about to come out of my skin. I'm so excited here for Nico. This is a big confidence builder for him.
Oh, he's having a great race
Yeah,
right
he
now.
is. Down through the kink. Nico Corpita right in his draft. He is staying there. Is he going to get a run on him here going into
He
turn
is.
6?
Let's see. Oh,
Here
to
goes
the
for the
inside,
block. Nico to the outside. Nico might do an over-under. He goes a little bit sideways. Not quite.
Oh.
Not quite.
And he didn't know where to go. There was a defensive move by Corman.
Totally defensive move by Corman. He keeps on looking behind him, and Nico lost a lot of ground there, but he went for it. Way to go.
Oh, this is going to be the run here. They got one more lap to decide this. Hopefully, he didn't lose too much, as Corman's got about
Nice.
a 2-3 cart lead. Now look
Yeah,
here.
but you see, he's coming back up on him
He's
now.
reeling him in.
Massey has already taken the white flag. Corman and Corpita now taking the white flag as they come into turn 1. Let's see if Corpita's going to push it.
And Corpita stayed a
Late
little
breaking
bit.
into turn 2. Is Corpita going to be able to hold it? He's going to catch him. He's coming up. Luke Corman looks over his shoulder.
He's gaining on
Nico,
him.
yeah, he is. He's going to catch up to him here in
he's got
turn
the right,
4.
Yeah, he's got the right gap. He's going to get a run coming
He
down
might
the hill.
be able to get a run here going into turn 9.
Slingshot engaged. Let's see.
Let's see what happens here. He looks. Corman
Oh,
looks.
he's
Does he
pulling him
have
in.
it? Does
He's
he have
pulling him
it?
in.
Looks again. Nico's going to go down the
In,
inside. A
out.
block by Corman. He's going to do the over-under. Nico on the over-under.
Oh.
He
Just misses him.
closes the door. Just completely slams the door on him.
And he lost a little bit of
Hey,
momentum
let me
there,
tell you, he's going
raking that in.
and Corman keeps on looking behind him, but you know what? That was a maneuver right there. Nico
And he
backed
did it
out of it.
twice in a row.
Oh,
Hit him
yeah.
with the defensive move
Boy, that
coming
was
into
beautiful.
turn 9.
Checker flag is out. Lincoln Massey's already crossed the line. Let's see what happens here at our next 2 competitors.
And here we
Corman-
go. That's Luke Corman in second, and Nico Corpita Will Bite Racing in third place. Lincoln Massey Will Bite Racing in first. What
Hey.
a run!
Look at that, getting 2 podiums for the
Woo!
team there, Al. Great job.
John Mark Nunnally in 4th. And to round out the field will be Brady Hinkle.
Yeah, there's Lincoln giving
There's
the
your-
wave.
your
He's
race winner.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, I just realized he's got the Red Bull
he
suit
actually
too.
looks like Animal from Muppet when he does that. You know, or Kermit.
Faster. And I'm sure that's what he says when he's going down the back straightaway.
What a
too.
race, Nico. I know you can hear me, man. That was awesome. Give that thumbs up right at the camera. There you go,
Yeah.
buddy. Way to go.
Great job.
Whoa. I mean,
Good
I'm
job
shaking.
Good job to all the competitors here. Love seeing the junior division out there. Love to see some more of them too, and proud that you help support this division, Al.
Yeah,
and,
I love it.
and
It can be
folks-
frustrating at times, let me tell you. Go back. Get that weight.
Yeah,
Focus,
and
Danielson,
folks,
focus.
if you're listening at home, get your kids involved. You know, we got the Junior Discovery Program out here. We got good folks like Al out here that'll be more than happy to help you out. We want to see these classes grow. We want to see membership grow. We want to see everything
Yeah,
grow
there's
out here.
Nico's dad giving him the high five. You got to be a proud papa right now. Listen to him. Yeah, he's got the hand up in the air. Wow. All right, guys, I'm going to bid you adieu. I got to go get ready for Legends and Masters.
Yeah, good luck out there, Al.
Thanks,
we'll
guys.
be cheering for you.
Oh, boy.
That was exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
Always great when Al comes up here in the booth, and I think it's about time for. Don't you have somewhere to be too here?
Yeah, I got to go call another race.
So with that, I guess Steve's going to be stepping out of the booth here, so we're going to be doing a little bit of a switcheroo up here.
Yeah, we're going to bring in Mikey Lemon Drop Lane to
So we're gonna have our
party.
Going to have our new producer, Michaela Denny, back in the hot seat.
Well, it's been fun so far. Unfortunately, I don't get to hang out all of race day today. I got to go call another race at North Georgia Speedway
you
tonight.
have you get around, Steve.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got
But we
5
do-
tracks that are
Well,
got
we
my name on
we
them on the
do
weekends.
appreciate you coming up here and hanging with us for a little bit here today, and appreciate all the paddock interviews too. So
Oh, man, I cranked a lot of those out.
And so as we're doing a little switcheroo up here in the booth, looks like we're getting ready to go with the LO 206 cadets. So this is going to be a fun run. We used to run these guys together, cadets and juniors, but now we've got them separated out. And let's see is, nope, they're going to get the wave off here, so they're going to get to go around one more time.
Well, Will, I'm going to go ahead and hop out of the booth. I'm going to hand this over to Mikey, and I'll see you all next race day.
Yeah, sayonara. Hate to see you go, but love to watch you walk away. Especially when you're at Casey Kane Fridays. That's always great when you whip that shirt out. And here we are about to get underway with the LO 206 cadet. Green flag is out. Got Dean Saunders, Alex Schomer, Easton Bailey, Arlo Stowers, Harrison Burklow in this one. And we're going to have to see where they stack up as they hit the timing stripe. And a little bit of action. That's the 71 of Eaton Bailey fending off the 64 of Harrison Burklow as the field goes down the back straightaway.
All right. I think I've got myself situated well. We're
Yes,
here.
are you good to go?
Yeah.
Never short on talent here in the booth at Atlanta Motorsports Park. So doing a little hot swap here as we are watching the field coming through turns 13 and about to hit that big sweeper, turn 14 here as they crest the hill. One of my favorite spots to watch people pass. Always the risk it for the biscuit turn.
I love the shots our drones get. Really shows that elevation change.
Ooh. And he tried to rake that thing really hard on the inside. That's the number 64 of Harrison Burklow. He's currently your third-place driver. We're watching that battle for second right now. As they come barreling up
side
the hill.
by side. Get some numbers. I think that's Alex Schomer.
Yeah, that's
in
the 78 fending
Whoa.
up. Oh, he knifes him through the turn, but gets it with the crossover. And some great shots from Tower Cam as they make their way through the kink. And we're watching that battle for second place right now. That is the 64 of Harrison Burklow. Got around Schomer. So he's going to be your new second place driver, currently making a comeback. And there's your leader, Dean Saunders.
With a little bit of a gap, but
Sticking his head under that fairing, trying to get as much aerodynamics as he can. And he turned the fastest lap of that race.
I don't know how much it actually helps you, but I see some drivers do it.
I'm pretty sure it does a little bit. Maybe when you got to train, it might help you more. But right now, he is leading the pack. But with these being the LOs, if second and third can start working together, they'll catch back up to him. He was able to get that lead while they were duking it out there last couple laps. But we're going to have to see as they make their way through turn 9 into the S's.
And this is one of the differences with the cadet class. You know, younger drivers maybe not as willing to work together as some of the older drivers.
Well, and that's where skill comes in, and because these guys are even younger than what we saw in the last division, because these are the cadets. So
True.
This is the first age division where they actually get access to the full track. So this is where they graduate once they get out of kid karts.
It is kind of crazy to see all the names in cadet that used to,
Yeah,
watch through
yeah.
kid kart.
And usually, they're in it for maybe 6 months to a full season if, we're lucky, because those guys, once they get the hang of it, they're ready for more. Rarely do we see somebody for more than one season doing the kid karts.
I think it's so exciting to see,
And Stowers is one of those guys.
yeah,
'cause
Arlo for sure.
We've been calling his name in the kid kart division, so great to see him up running it with the cadets right now. And first, second, third, still pretty gapped out. That's probably your closest is going to be first and second, because there's a 1.3 second difference at the line. Behind them, 2.2 seconds on to third place. Fourth place, almost 10 seconds behind the leaders. So definitely falling off pretty hard there. And Arlo Stowers, I think he must be having some mechanical troubles, because he's running a minute 11 right now, and everybody else is in the minute 1, minute 2 categories. So he's probably having a little bit of trouble out there, probably trying to get that cart figured out.
Maybe a little under power. Maybe setup's not quite right.
And Dean Saunders, he just keeps shaving time off. That little purple stripe you see there on the scoring screen, that
It hasn't
means-
moved off his name.
No, so that means every single lap he is running faster and faster, and that is every time you see that purple stripe, that means that was the fastest lap of the race. Not just their personal fast time. So when you see it lit up in green, that means that was their fastest time. But when you see purple, that's the overall fastest lap.
Well, what's crazy is actually Harrison Burklow, look at those times.
Yeah.
They're almost identical.
Yeah, he's
So-
catching back up. He had to fight through traffic, and I think that was half the problem was he started this race in traffic, and now that he's got some clean runway ahead of him, he's going to be doing his best to try and reel in Dean. But
Well,
without
still
help,
more than half the race left.
yeah,
So
well, without help, I don't know. We're going to see. And he was about half a second, 0.5 slower that last time by. So Saunders still building on that lead right now. Gap up to 1.8 seconds between first and second.
Harrison on the bottom of the screen coming into view as they make their way through the kink.
And great shot from your drone, Daryl Cannon, Killboy.com. Happy that drone still works. You know, he was out there flying it at Durhamtown, and he sent me some pictures. That thing was caked in mud.
I was caked in mud after that.
Yeah, I think everybody was. My entire car looked like the inside of a cave. It was dusty. And it looks like your leader's getting around some lap traffic. I believe that's Arlo Stowers. Whoa, that was a little close. He catches him, too.
A little bit of contact there.
And you can see his hands raised in frustration. That's definitely going to slow him down a little bit. As you see that last lap time, minute 1.9, still half a second a lap slower. That puts that gap up to 2.2 seconds.
And, you know, navigating through those backmarker traffic, that is a skill that, you know, these young drivers are acquiring. So you saw Dean Saunders able to do it.
And we're just hitting the halfway point, so they're going to have to do that again.
For sure.
So we're going to have to see because, you know, the gap in time right now from the fastest to the slowest driver is almost 11 seconds. So if we're doing minute 1 laps, that's, about 5-6 laps, so they're going to catch him again.
I was never good at math, Will, so I'm going to take your word on it.
Yes. I'm just reading it off the score. You got the score screen in front of you.
It still requires math.
That's why you're a mass comm major, right?
Yeah, I write papers.
Well, ChatGPT writes them. You proof them.
First of all.
Hey, why you got to call me out on air like that?
That's blasphemy.
I'm sorry, Professor, if you're listening to this. Hey, I'll give you a little secret. I work in marketing. We all do it.
Dean Saunders out here consistently running those 101s. Harrison Burkle is also running those 101s, but you know, not able to get through that lap traffic as cleanly as Dean has kind of hurt him here.
Yeah, these guys have really spread out right now.
Unfortunately, with the LO2, 206s, it's very close to like spec racing.
Yeah,
it's hard to get an advantage. So very impressive that Dean has, kind of created his lead.
And he's getting a little wide there, getting a little squirrely coming through.
Maybe testing a couple things out, getting bored.
Yeah, and you see his time dropped. And look at that, Harrison Burklow running a faster lap. So we've been seeing Dean in the low 101s and starting to slow down a little bit with that last lap. But he has built a pretty sizable lead right now. At 2.2 seconds with 4 laps to go, that's going to be hard to claw back. Even if you're gaining half a second a lap, that's still not going to be enough time. So
it's not looking.
Burklow's going to have to pray for an act of God here.
But
or something to slow down Saunders is.
You and Al talked about it last race. These 12-lap races is a long time in a kart. And for these young drivers that are learning how to kind of keep focus for 12 laps.
Yeah, and it's one slip up, too. It's, one entry into turn 2, one entry into turn 16, and you go a little wide, you catch a rumble strip. That could really slow you down.
There is a lot of turns, a lot of tricky turns on this course that if you are not paying attention will come and bite you in the butt.
And you see right there him hitting the rumble strip a little bit on the outside of that turn. I'm sure that's going to slow him down just a tiny bit. But able to do a little bit better that time by. But look at that. Burklow still running the faster laps right now, but only about 0.3 of a second quicker on that last one. So.
And with those rumble strips, how many times have we seen a driver run over that and then shake something loose in the cart and then it breaks and then you have that leader have to check out for mechanical. So.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing too. Yeah, because
you'll lose all your spots.
Yes, because you still got to be running after the last lap. And right now, Burklow trying to reel in Dean Saunders, but laps are slowly winding down on this one. Going to be lap 10 once they hit the stripe. It'll be 2 to go. Great shot here. You can really see the elevation change.
And it might be my eyes, but I feel like the gap has kind of closed a little bit.
Maybe Dean did something we didn't see. Let's see.
Well, if you just, mess up a couple corners.
Still ran a 1.7. Yeah, Harrison Burklow, he's been getting about 1/4 of a second each time. But
he ran almost 0.3 faster.
Yeah, but that gap is still at 1.7 seconds. So 1/4 second lap's not going to be enough to do it. He's going to have to reach deep and find something here as your leaders make their way through turns 3 and 4 down the back straightaway. Great shot there of the kink cam. as they are making their way down the back straightaway. Another great shot there. LumaCube Engineering getting all the shots on the backside of the track with that Mavic 3 Pro drone.
I love that shot all the way at the end of
the zoom is so great on that thing. I love seeing that.
You would think he's in like a crane camera,
yeah,
but it really is just one little tiny drone out there doing all that work. So great value.
Yes.
For,
and just the dexterity, too, of being able to move that thing around, because you can't really move a crane camera. It's
no,
at what spot?
Not easily. White flag is out. Dean Saunders is going to lead Harrison Burklow. Those are your top two. Your closest battle on the track.
He raked it in, and they chopped another half second off, but still 1.3 second gap at the line. So Saunders just trying to hang on for dear life right now. Look at that. He ran a 102.054.
He signaled something to the spectators. I don't know what he
waving for the fans. I don't know.
The gap has closed, though.
Yeah. If he's not careful, Burklow's going to reel him in. But hey, he's still got a decent enough. I mean, that's about a 10-cart length advantage right now. He's got to make it. He's half a lap to go. He's just got to make it here. Is he going to hang on? Look at Burklow just coming in hot right now as they crest the hill at 14. And I think he could probably just let off and coast it here. He's pretty much got it as they're into the final two turns. And Dean Saunders is going to take the win here in LO 206 Cadet. Harrison Burklow, your second-place driver. Harrison Burklow, hard charger, man. He started in the back of that, had to fight through traffic, had a great start, mixed it up with Alex Schomer there for a little bit, finally got around Schomer, but a little too late. I think had they been first and second from the start, Burklow and Saunders, that would have been that'd have been some blows getting traded there, but he just didn't have enough time to catch back up to him.
Unfortunate. It makes me wonder what happened in the pre-final for Harrison to have started farther back.
That must have been a great battle. Yeah, it's more than likely when we see those kind of situations, that's because somebody got clipped and went for a ride during the pre-final.
But, I mean, how many times throughout the years have we seen, great drivers pass, 20 carts to come to, either win or finish in a podium? And I feel like for some of these drivers, I would rather almost pass 15 carts and finish third than just check out in first.
Yeah. I mean, for some people, it's fun to do that. From a race director standpoint, you want to see as little passing as possible because,
for sure,
statistically, you're at your highest chance of something happening with passing. Yeah,
start and finish in the same position without any passes.
If we could just do it like European highways, okay, everybody stay in the right-hand lane until you're ready to pass. So, do we got some interviews lined up for the next one? Oh, sweet. Who do we got? So we have got KA100 Junior, KA100 Senior up next. I believe this is a senior driver. We got Mateo Rubio Luingo. So let's go meet our drivers.
All right, thank you, Mateo.
Thank you.
Next.
Quickest interview Steve's done yet. They got to start that one back from the start.
How long you been racing? Well, I think that's how we're going to actually do it. Your name, your class, how long. All right, we're standing here with our first driver of the day. Can we get your name?
Mateo Rubio Luengo.
And what is the class you're driving in?
KA Senior.
And how long have you been driving in KA Senior?
For about three years.
All right, thank you, Mateo. Thank you. Next.
I love Steve's speed running interviews.
I told him to ask some more questions, but I was like, also keep it short because.
Well, I take a little fault in that because when we set up those interviews last week, I was like, we got to keep it brief.
Yeah.
He took it to heart.
All right, who we got? We got one more. Who we got?
We're here with our next driver. Can we get your name?
Liam O'Donnell.
And how long have you been running your class?
For about maybe a few months right now.
And what class are you running today?
KA Junior.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
And there's another one of your drivers as I think we got some recoveries going. Normally they're, looks like, they're on track right now. So getting the warm-up lap in. So this is going to be a quick one. This is going to be the KA Juniors, KA Seniors, and I believe it's going to be mostly senior drivers. Oh,
Speedy boys.
Speaking of which, we got 4 junior drivers on the score sheet here. I'm not sure if they start them first or second. We're going to have to see. So if it's a pack of 4 at the front, we'll know that's the juniors. But typically they put them in the back because seniors should be slightly quicker. Well, I'm not sure if they're carrying more weight. I believe it's the same engine, so maybe they'll start the juniors up front. We'll find out together. And that looks like the seniors because we've got 6 of them on the score sheet. Looks like 5 are currently on track right now. And that is definitely the number 5 of Christian Foster and the number 6 of Mateo Rubio Luingo, the driver we just saw in that interview. And there is your second pack of drivers. So they got 5 as well. So I don't know. We'll see when they cross the stripe. I'm seeing Gabriel Lopez Velarde all the way at the back. So
that was the junior class that just crossed the stripe.
Okay.
So this is the senior class right here.
So both drivers getting a wave around. So, yep,
I think they wanted to start these guys first. So
yeah, we've got Christian Foster, Mateo Rubio Luingo first and second. They're going to lead this pack of KA 100 seniors. This is going to be a good battle right here. As they get woed down, let's see.
Green flag.
Yep, green flag. You can see it on that F1 starting light. We are underway. Oh, little bit of contact. He took the Dukes of Hazzard line over that curbing there at turn 1. I'm sure he felt that in his I'm sure he felt that in his spine, but that's going to let Mateo Rubio Luingo quickly pull into first place as they go 1-2 down the back straightaway. And then third and fourth, they're pretty much on top of each other. That's Vincent Capetillo, Martin Siminoff.
I was going to say, I don't think you fit an index card in between them.
No. Throw a blanket over them as they are
How many analogies can we have for how close they're? It's like they got a chain connecting them.
That's where I need. That's where I wish John was here because he had all those good racing isms.
Yeah, we should have him like write a book for us, like a reference guide.
Yeah, the only ism I got, I had to get diagnosed with. So. And right now we are watching your KA 100 seniors as they get lap number 1 in the books. Mateo Rubio Luingo, your leader. That's Christian Foster in the number 5. And then third place is Vincent Capetillo, Martin Siminoff in 4th, and Austin Thompson in 5th. These are the drivers we're watching on our screen right now. Just behind them, looks like the juniors getting their first lap in. Gabriel Lopez Velarde, the leader of that pack. Luke Corman, man, double duty Luke right now, man. You got to be sore getting out of that cart and hopping right in for the next one. Maybe that's what the delay was. They're having to give him a minute to catch his breath after that last one.
Well, think about it. He had to do double duty on the final, but then also the pre-final.
Yes.
So that's like 4 races, and they're all back to back to back.
Yeah, I'm sure. Ooh. Leave that one to the kids. There's
yeah.
Yeah, we don't see too
Yeah,
many.
there is no adult doing that.
Well, I mean.
Well, maybe there are.
I'd say there is only one Danny May.
Danny May has
the Iron Man himself. I think we saw him run 3 races one time.
Danny May would do every class if he could fit in the cart.
Yes. But even then,
I'm not body shaming Danny May.
Yeah,
he's just,
He's a machine. But you start to feel your age after doing back-to-back races. And right now, look at that. The action for third place heating up.
Side by side.
That's Siminoff to the inside, getting around Capetillo. And Siminoff, your new third-place driver. Capetillo not able to retaliate there. He's going to have to yield the position. And, Siminoff always a hard charger. We were used to seeing him running up towards the front, so getting caught back there in traffic. Let's see now getting around Capetillo if he's going to be able to reel in Christian Foster there in second place. Christian, he has his hands full running the current fastest time of the race. He's trying to reel in Mateo Rubio Luingo. But Luingo, no stranger to first place and running out front. So right now, that is going to be your 1, 2, 3, 4. And looking back at the KA 100 juniors, Lopez Velarde is still your winner right now. He's got about a 3-second lead over second place Luke Corman in the junior division. A real tight battle right now between Corman and Isabel Mejia? And I'll let you pronounce that one, Mikey.
Let me scroll down my race monitor now.
So that is the closest battle on track right now, and that's back in the KA 100 juniors. That's your battle for second and third. And then behind them, Aiden Courtney in that number 00 cart. He was your fourth place driver in juniors, and he's only 0.3 seconds behind Mejia. So
I'm going to
should
say
be a pretty good 3-car battle right now in the junior division. And Cohen Walchley? I'll let you. Yeah, you can. Yeah, tell me what that is. That
Walchley? Walchel?
Yeah, we'll have to ask. Have to ask him at the podium.
Please, if we're butchering names,
run up here and let us know.
We're up here in the Kart track building. Walkley? All right, so we have
Walkley.
Isabel, I think. What is that? That's
We got Cole Shattuck up here, race director today. He is our Cole Hatfield. What's your last? Cole, I always call you something every time. I'm never gonna call you your right last name. Yeah, Cole Custard is. That's your stage name. Always great when you have race directors sitting alongside us in the booth. Yeah, did we do that public vote last time too? For the penalty. Yeah, we really need to change this up. Do it like some Formula E gimmicks.
That's what I'm saying. Vote for your favorite driver. Give him a speed boost.
Yeah, push the pass. Look at these guys. They are getting at it right now. We got battles for first and second and battles for second and third. And there goes your overall leaders in KA 100 senior. And I bet you that gap's going to be even tighter at the line.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. We get confirmation when they come across the line here, but that is.
Yeah, 0.2 seconds right now. And they have pulled away from the rest of the field. Yeah, they are about almost 5 seconds ahead of third place right now. So they are running away with this right now. And Simonov, he's having to fight off Capetillo right now. And we saw them just in the back of your screen right there as they're coming across. That's third and fourth in KA 100 senior.
I think the battle to watch here is definitely going to be those top two in KA 100 senior.
Yeah, these guys are just past the halfway point. Going to be lap number 7 as they come by.
That's the laps wind down here in KA 100 senior and junior. A lot quicker lap times than the tags.
See, you've mastered how to passive-aggressively talk to the broadcast team. You've been learning, Mikey.
This is actually pretty nice.
I have the power now.
I could get used to this. Right in front of the tower they go.
Coming past our position. We put that mic a little further back today, so not as loud on the race car noises.
Yeah, that problem is, which, you know.
It always scares me putting that stuff right up on the tire wall. But
yeah, someone's going to.
But speaking of being right up on each other's tires, look at this, first and second. Still bumper to bumper. I think he's going to start making a move here. There's going to be 4 laps to go next time by. I expect to see him starting to look inside and outside. He's got to get Mateo off his. He's got to get him a little off-centered. You got to start giving him the bump and run, just letting him know you're back there. But Mateo, he's the Iceman out there. Look at him. He's just head down moving.
MRL. I'm going to start that. We're going to go by initials for his name's too long to say.
I like calling it on the podium. It's a great.
Well,
he needs a walk-up song too when we do it. And here they go past the camera there at turn 13. Cresting through turn 14, that big sweeper coming through. There's a little kink right there. We call that turn 15, and then finally into turn 16 and 17 back onto the front straightaway. There are going to be 3 laps to go this time by. 9 laps in, 12-lap contest.
3/10 separating them.
They're about 8 minutes into racing. That's a lot for these karts, especially on a day like today. They're out there building heat.
It's not as hot as it's going to be later on in the season.
No, and that's the thing. We're just in round 2. This is April.
So, yeah, if this is
supposed to be the last of the tolerable heat races, but, man, if we're going off anything like today, May is going to be a scorcher.
Well, especially our doubleheader weekend coming up.
Yes, and that's going to be 2 days of racing next month, so looking forward to that.
I know all the mechanics and dads and everyone who's wrenching on the karts are, they're going to put in some hard, sweaty hours for that double header weekend. getting the
And
carts
look
prepped.
at this, Christian Foster. He's just sucking up to Mateo Rubio Luengo. He is starting to peak. As they both cross the line. Look at that, Foster running about a 1/10 of a second faster. That
Close the
last
gap a little
lap.
bit.
But, I mean, when do you make the move? You know, this is one of the hardest drivers out here to pass. He can make himself wide. He will arms out racing.
Well, you see it in all forms of racing. It's easy to, close the gap and get up on the driver. It's a whole nother thing to pass.
Yes.
We'll see if Christian Foster has what it takes. They make their way down to the turn 9.
He's starting to suck up on him real hard there on that back straightaway. But I think next time it's going to be the one. I think he's going to keep it straight here. But he's only going to have one more lap to try and make a move as we are making their way through 14 through into the final two
peaked a little
turns. Yeah, he thought about it. Let's see. White flag is out. This is going to be it. Gloves
one more
off.
time.
Great shots of everything as the leaders making their way across the hill.
Christian Foster, does he have what it takes?
And you notice Mateo just staying off the rumble strip there as he's coming up the hill, trying to keep as much speed as he can as they're coming through the back straightaway right now. Let's see, is Foster going to make a move coming in here?
He has
no.
enough space. I think, his best bet is to suck up here and see if he can.
He's going to have to race him hard to the final turn.
I think he starts making this move through David's Bend.
Let's see here. Is he going to try and give him a little tap here coming into David's Bend? Turn 14, no.
Oh, it's going to have to be a last turn
He's going to have to dive here into the final turn.
Sets
and
him
no.
up, turns in.
No, he's going to keep it.
He's not going to have it.
Not able to get the run.
Checker flag is out. Mateo Rubio Luengo.
He's able to hang on and get the win.
Great race by Christian Foster, though, to keep it competitive.
Yeah, no, that was a lot closer.
We've seen a lot of races where
runaways,
Mateo
yes.
has checked out, so.
And that's something you see here with the skill gap because, a lot of these guys are constantly moving. They're not staying in the same class for very long.
All these guys run in, other series.
Yes.
And, they're just constantly in a cart.
And you've got some of the guys like Mateo Rubio Luengo who's been in this class for a couple of seasons now. He's just holding it down. And so great to see some new guys getting up in here and putting some pressure. So great battle. So final rundown here. Mateo Rubio Luengo, he is your winner in KA 100 senior. Christian Foster second. Martin Simonoff in third. Vincent Capetillo in fourth. Then Austin Thompson in fifth. Behind them, the KA 100 juniors, Gabriel Lopez Velarde able to hang on, get the win. Luke Corman gets another podium today. He finished in second. And then Isabel, I didn't catch that last name.
They
just cycled the scoring on us before we finished reading through that list as those drivers are making their way to the scales. And coming up next, we've got the LO206 Master, LO206 Legends. Definitely should have some interviews here. So what do you got, Michaela?
We're here with our first driver of the afternoon. Can you tell us your name?
Al Edwards,
Al, what division are you running today?
LO206 Legends, first year,
All right, and what is your cart number?
number 711.
And how long have you been coming out here?
Oh gosh, almost 15 years since day one.
All right, good luck today.
Thanks, brother.
You're good. Next.
Al is the legend himself.
We're here with our next driver. Can we get your name?
Yeah, Chris Arencia.
Chris, what division do you run?
So LO206 Masters. So we've been out here. This is our fourth season. We stepped down from X30. We did that for a season. Decided to come back here and have some fun with these guys.
Well, good luck this afternoon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. There you saw Al Edwards and Chris Orencia. They're going to be out there running today. I'm looking all the way. Yeah, there's Chris. They currently got him in 16th. So it looks like cars are on track right now. I think they're doing their warm-up lap. I just saw a bunch of drivers
Al's
light
full
up.
name is Alistair?
Yeah. Big Al Edwards. Big Alistair.
I thought it was like Albert or something. That's way better
Yeah.
this whole time.
Better than Allison.
Well,
And I am seeing 32 drivers. That is about a third of all the registrants.
I don't have that many fingers and toes, Will.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep count of this one. But Al told me they were stacked today with drivers. So the Masters division. Yeah, Al must have picked up the phone and called all his buddies because I see Jose Garcia out here, Danny May. Oh, we got a couple guys listed twice. I see 2 Dannys. Got Oz Cheek, Corey Linder, Paul McCleary, Adam Phillips, Vincent Reed, Camilo Ortiz, Devin Knight. Saw him. He just moved down to Florida, so happy to see him back up here running today. Thought he was done racing with us, but he said his sponsors ponied up and flew him out here, so happy to see Devin back out.
Well, definitely a lot of Legends and Masters.
Yes.
Out here in the Legends and Masters.
And look at this pack of carts. Are they going to all start together? This is going to be fun. Nope. No, we got split start there in the back, so that's going to be the Legends there in the back.
But the Masters is what we're here for. Look at that.
That's looking like an LO senior division. Here we are. We are underway. Look at all these carts. One of our largest LO Masters divisions ever. Look at this.
3 wide through the grass.
And they are starting off fast right now. Look at this. Still hanging on. Look at this. 3 wide, 4 wide up the hill. Oh! And we've got 3, 4 carts into it. 5, 6 at the top of the hill. And we got one driver taking the Apex sign with him. There we go. He lost it. That was the pit sign. That was the slow down. He took that sign for a ride, and wow.
Cars went left, cars went right, all through the grass on a safari.
And let's see if they're able to get any of these guys back up and running as the Legends are able to get around them. And look at that snake of cards making their way through the backside. Oh, it's a more contact.
Oh.
They're still on top of each other. And those guys just monster trucked on over one another, and they're just going to have to push that cart off. And that is not what you want to see happen on the opening lap. They just got into each other. Yeah. He got a wheel up on him and
looking like Monster Jam out there.
Yeah. Saturday.
This weekend only at Atlanta Motorsports Park.
At the Atlanta Motordrome. That's going to be my racetrack if I start one, Mikey.
That's your, if I win the lottery, I won't tell anyone, but there will be signs.
There will definitely be signs. I'm going to buy out that cornfield up next to my house, put a track there. And check out all these carts. LO match. Just some side-by-side action coming into turn 9. Getting the pass, about to get hit with the crossover, but no, able to shut the door there. And right now, watching the Masters division, your leader, Joshua Smoker, he takes the field for the second lap. Talmadge Isbell, your second place driver, Adam Phillips in third. Look at this, Jose Garcia up to fourth. Man, I bet that's going to feel good if he can manage to get a second podium today. And still drivers off to the side there. That's the number 87.
I feel like that was a new driver that.
Yeah, that was Matt Lassiter. That's one of our top runners. And he turned to lap 1, so he didn't get caught there during that fracas on the first lap, but definitely having some mechanical trouble. And this race just gobbling up drivers right now. We're seeing folks everywhere. There's going to be a lot of recovery after this one. And there's your leader right there coming across your screen, Joshua Smoker. Adam Phillips just behind him. Look at this, Jose Garcia. Showing in fourth on the screen, but I don't know if that's third overall. I don't trust anything I see right now. So right now, that's Chris Benson. All right, there we go. Our mystery number 2 driver.
He's revealed himself.
First, I play a trap card.
And I would have got away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids.
Oh, no, were we doing Yu-Gi-Oh references or Scooby-Doo references? I forgot. Sorry, we're trying to bring in a younger crowd here, Mikey. That's
what are the kids like? Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah. You sitting here quoting Hanna-Barbera cartoons. That's more like Al's generation. I'll throw a barrel at it. And let's look back at the seniors on the scoring sheet and see how they're doing. And look at that. Our boy, Al Edwards, is currently leading the Legends drivers. So he is in front right now. John Dickinson just behind him. And they've got a pretty good battle going right now, about 0.6 of a second gap between first and second for the Legends division. And just behind them, Corey Linder, he's in third. Tim Clark in fourth. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Legends division. Good luck trying to find who they are right now with all these carts out on track.
There is a lot of carnage, a lot of carts all over the place. Jose Garcia running the fastest lap of the race there, 102.
Oh, look at that. He is on the move.
0.7.
But right now we have got a 3-cart battle for the lead. And hopefully Jose's got some help because he's going to need to catch up to these guys. And that's the 76 of Chris Benson right there in third. So that means Adam Phillips got around him.
But we do see this a lot, though, in these big, like, LO classes.
Yeah, it's hard to pull away from anybody.
The fastest driver is sometimes, like, 4th or 5th. Just because they'll catch a draft.
Yeah, and they need to work together right now to stay out in front because Jose is leading that second pack, and they are definitely hard charging to the front right now.
Well, Jose, yeah, if he's in that 4th place spot, he wants to get up into that podium. Currently, none of them are in the podium, not in this group, so.
No.
Well,
no, this is, well, right now, this is the battle for the lead right now.
This is our podium. Joshua Smoker, Chris Benson, Adam Phillips, those are your top 3 LO Master.
And there goes Jose Garcia right there, and he's leading this second pack of 3. And look at that, they're starting to reel. Yeah, they're starting to reel him in right now.
Bottom.
Dun, 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 dun. I was setting you up for the good part.
I didn't want to hit it.
There you go. Yeah, blow up the speakers on the balcony hitting that high note.
If you insist. Through the S's they go.
Wait, so that's not Joshua Smoker? Oh, okay. Well, we're live on air, folks.
So Joshua Smoker allegedly
in the lead. We'll do it live. I want to see if we can go look back at the Legends. Nod, Michaela. No, sorry, I'm just passive-aggressively talking.
I don't even know if we're going to be able to find them.
Yeah, I know.
With all those carts getting mixed up on the first lap.
I'm seeing. Well, actually, yeah, no, I'm seeing. It looks like Alistair Edwards in 9th position right now. So he's actually. There are several carts between him, so there's really not much.
This is probably our best battle.
Yeah, this is yeah, let's just stay on the lead right here. This is what we should watch. Yeah, I said that to throw Al some love because he was up here in the booth, and he does a lot to support this sport, to support AMP and everybody here. He's telling me he's got 22 drivers out here today. So that's about
with his team?
Yeah, with his team. That's about 20% of the entries here today. So and there's some of our Legends on screen right now. You can tell by the more relaxed position. They got the lazy boy model. They got the carts with the reclined.
What is the age requirements for the Legends?
I think you just got to be older than 35.
Yeah,
or
show
40.
Like your
yeah,
AARP card.
I say got to.
I'm sorry, Al.
Got to prove you're drawing retirement.
Back here to the overall leaders in the LO206 Master Division. Joshua Smoker allegedly leading Chris Benson, Adam Phillips, and then Jose Garcia leading that second pack, reeling them in. But they're going to have to make some more progress here as the laps wind down. 7 laps. They make their way through turn 9 through the S's. They'll head towards our track cam where they cut up that hill to the right towards David's Bend. Jose Garcia getting a push from Danny May. Those two. You know, they're in the Masters division, but those guys are AMP Legends.
Yes. Yeah, 2 of the GOATs right here. Danny May, Jose Garcia going at it.
All right, well, you're scrolling through presidents on Wikipedia.
Yeah,
what joke do you have lined up?
I was trying to find out. Don't ruin it. Yeah, I think I was going to say the gatekeeper for whether you're in Masters or not is, whether you – I was going to say, what, Reagan or Ford or Jimmy Carter, you had to vote,
Yeah. Did you vote for Kennedy?
I wasn't going to go that far back.
I'm young, Will. I don't have any frame of reference for any of these guys.
If you were 18 in 1961 and you're out driving a go-kart right now, Yeah, come up in the booth. I want to talk to you.
You could be dead last, and we still.
I was trying not to be that mean to the Legends drivers.
My bad.
And leaders coming around. Going to be 3 laps to go this next time by. Definitely expect to see some action shaking
is
up.
That Danny May?
I don't know. He went real wide on there.
Oh, Adam.
Or to the inside.
Oh.
So that was Adam Phillips.
Did the front group lose some?
I think that might be a transponder.
Yeah, that's also possible.
Because that's Chris Bennett there in 3rd, so maybe they dropped whoever that's in 2nd place.
Transponders always acting up.
Yeah, sometimes you win them, sometimes you lose them. But a lot of rain. That's why the grass is starting to look pretty good out here. Definitely getting green. Spring is sprung.
Yeah, not a big fan of the pollen and the warmer temperatures, but I got to admit the green.
Definitely nicer walking to the car in the morning.
For sure.
Especially since we had some low 40s last week. So if you'd have told me it'd been close to 90 for race day this week, I'd have told you to get lost. But here we are. It's a scorcher out there. These guys having a fun time trying to navigate the track, the heat, everything, because we're in the later part of the day. It's about as hot as it's going to get out there. And it looks like we got a back marker pulling off, and he's going to get out of the way, so he's not going to cause any havoc.
Smart move. He might have got a signal from a team.
Yeah, he's about to get a train ran on top of him if he didn't watch out. Yeah, there's a lot of 2s on here. Oh, 2 carts. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, with how many carts we've lost in this race, it does not surprise me that there's some mechanical issues.
I was not expecting to see a grid this big for these guys. I was real excited when I was talking to him earlier today. He was telling me how many guys signed up. I was like, you're not going to split that up?
Makes for great TV.
Yeah. And right now we're watching the back of that 2nd pack. That's Jose Garcia, Danny May, and Sebastian Velasquez.
White flag is out. I don't think Jose Garcia's group has a chance unless they really start chopping it up front.
Unless they get into it in front of them. And these guys have been keeping it fairly clean. These are the masters. These are the elder statesmen of the sport.
Well,
I
think the gloves
Legends
come off
too.
here.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
This is where it will happen.
This is gentleman's racing at its finest right now. And look at that. Benson all the way in the bumper of Smoker coming into that braking zone.
Might be opting to set him up for a move over here at David's Bend or perhaps final turn.
It's going to happen here. It's got to be. They're going to have to
look.
Oh,
here we go. Oh.
Smoker kind of kept it to the inside a little bit, almost left the door wide open. But let's see.
Oh, is this Adam Phillips pushing?
Phillips giving the push to Benson. No, Benson now taking off.
Oh, here goes Phillips.
Phillips all the way to the inside. He's going to be side by side with Benson. No, Benson's going to have the run here. And Smoker hangs on. Benson 2nd. Phillips. Actually, I think there's a mystery driver in there.
Well,
because that was Danny May that just hit the stripe.
Timing results not official.
Yes.
As always.
We'll be as surprised as you are once we get to the podiums.
You enter our winner? Oh, really?
Yeah, there's been a couple. It's like every race there's like one driver that the scoring loop just does not like. And I know it can't be that many drivers for getting to plug in their transponders, so they were definitely having a little bit of trouble earlier today, and they were.
I went to a race once, and timing and scoring worked flawlessly, and then I woke up.
Well, it worked just fine yesterday, and they woke up today, and they were having some issues. They switched over to the B loop, which is the scoring loop they use for public karting to get qualifying done, and then they were able to get it back for the pre-finals, and it seems like it's been working pretty good for the majority of the day, but a couple of drivers, I think, it could be if the transponder is not, pumping as strong. And there's one driver there with Baldozer Racing looking very stoic, the 577, just waiting for his ride back to the pits. That's Oz Cheek.
Look at all that debris on the wheels where he went off.
Yeah, he picked up a lot there.
Find a quarter.
Oh, that's some grass, yeah. I'm sure they can scrub those back off for the next one. Some great shots from our cameraman, Ethan Denny, out there. Cowboy Cam himself. You know, I used to love all the shots he had during Caffeine and Octane, man. He worked that camera like his life depended on it, like
a true operator.
Yes. And I see Michaela with her hand on the button over there. We got somebody lined up. Yeah, what do we got? Anything good? I guess I was here, so I should know.
Anything
yeah,
good?
let's
forget about this.
All the chaos on lap 1 here. Look at this. As they're coming up the hill side by side. Look at this, 3 wide. Catching, woo! He went for a, yeah, yippee! Wahoo! Sorry, Mario sounds there. And look, he took the sign with him too. He said, I don't like that slow down sign. That might cause havoc in public karting tomorrow. They got to get that thing back.
Yeah, he brought that all the way
Why do they
around
even have the slow down sign out there for this race? I guess that's going into pit road, so that's a good place to have that. And here's that other contact that we saw on lap 1. And he hit him once, said, that's not enough. Let me get you again. Bam. Oh. A monster trucked over him there, and that put those 2 drivers out. And that was what happened to Oz Cheek. And he would have been a strong contender, too, if that hadn't happened. But it looks like his ride has arrived. So he's going to be on the what are we calling the recovery vehicle? You know, it's not the ride of shame, because there's nothing shameful about being out on a racetrack.
Kind of reminds me of like a hayride.
Yeah. But it's always, I mean, it's you know, I don't want to say it's funny, but when you see a full cart and they're all just sitting in there going for a ride back up on their recovery.
Yeah, not the way you want to exit the track. You want to be able to drive off under your own power. Not always possible, though.
And it looks like coming up next, we're going to have the shifter division. Who do you got lined up for an interview here?
We're here with our next driver this afternoon. Can we get your name, please?
Sean Hayes.
And Sean, what division do you run?
I'll be running shifter cart with the rock motor.
And how long have you been running this division?
This is my 2nd season.
Well, good luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
And that was Sean Hayes, our membership director. So always good to see him out there running.
He's been doing shifter for, I think, the past 2 seasons now,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, he has. So he's really getting settled in here with these carts. And, you know, hats off to him just going head first into the hardest division we have out here. And, you know, he didn't do this without any prior experience. I know he used to race karts when he was younger.
Still, but I feel like you take off that much time, and then what's like when Jeremy got in the shifter, like hadn't raced
Jeremy
a car
looked
in a
like
while.
he got out of a full body workout too.
Like that was 12 rounds in a boxing match.
Yeah, that's
impressive though.
Those karts are no joke. I mean, any 2-stroke is no joke, but let alone when you get to the shifter division. And we've got another one. Yeah, we've got Oz Cheek coming up. Yeah, let's hear from Oz.
We're here with our next driver. Can we get your name, please?
Owsley Cheek the 4th.
Owsley, what division do you run?
I run tag senior and shifter.
And how long have you been running each division?
This is it's been about a year for shifter, and this is my 3rd year in X30.
Well, we look forward to speaking to you later today. Have a good one.
Thanks.
And you can see Frank right there behind him with the cowboy hat. That's Baldozier, Frank Baldozier with Baldozier Racing. Another big supporter here, one of the team owners that brings a lot of drivers out and supports a lot of the guys. So always happy to have the team owners and their support, because that's what makes this, that's what makes this thing tick. I mean, there's a lot of individual guys that come out, but there's also a handful of teams that
I love the team aspect of motorsports.
It'd be cool if we had like a Constructors Cup, in like a team,
I really wish if I had like unlimited funds, if we could do like a documentary like series, like a Drive to Survive, but just about the teams.
Yeah,
'cause I feel like that's where all the personalities are in the teams.
I would love to do the kids out here too. They get so at it.
Great shot of the AMP kart racing building. That's where we are.
Yeah, if you could see us waving, we're inside the windows there, just to the left side.
Those windows are tinted.
Yes, keeping it cool in here. And you can see all those solar panels on top of the building. That was a great addition last season. Big deal we made with the EMC companies. Everybody kind of came together to make it happen, but they got those solar panels on top of all the garages, all the buildings here.
I remember when they first put like the very first ones in, it was so special. Now they're just on every building,
Yes.
so you kind of just like you know.
And
forget
we
that
are.
they're
I mean,
there.
this is one of the greenest motorsports facilities in America, and I would venture to say probably the world. I mean, they've got low flow toilets, all the lights are on timers, they shut off. They're very energy conscious here.
It makes sense if you have such wide open area.
Yeah.
Might as well take advantage.
Well, and when you're a big public venue too, I mean, there's a lot of resources get consumed here. A lot of power gets taken from the grid, and we've got our own pump house. We provide our own water here. You see that big water tower, the shot out there in the carousel on the main track, and it all requires energy, and so those solar panels offset a lot of the energy cost here at Atlanta Motorsports Park. Great addition.
It's just crazy to see how the facility's grown up.
Yeah. Well, and they need all that power to run these new lights that we got too. Those are another addition that came last season.
I'll say if anyone out there is into sim racing, if they have R Factor 2, they scanned the track when the track first opened, and you can see just like
what this place used to be like.
There wasn't the main clubhouse. There was like one set of garages.
Yeah.
Just driving around in that simulator, I did that like a little while ago, and yeah, it takes you back. Kind of.
It's a lot of fun.
But great comparison to see how just everything's grown up here.
And I think a good thing to showcase the growth here was that last race we did at the end of last season. LO206 is under the lights.
Cinema.
It couldn't have been any better than that. And it just really showcased the progress and where we're at as a track. And, man, still talking about it now gives me goosebumps. Like, I hope, I love this racing during the daytime, but I would love to get some more night racing in here.
I'm just saying, if I'm like a prospective kart racer and I'm flipping through YouTube and I saw that, I'm booking my flight to Dawsonville because that was legit.
That was so cool. And, fortunately with the way the zoning is here, we were running that right at twilight, so that's kind of pushing, the sound ordinance, but I would, especially with the 4 strokes, I mean, they're not as loud as the 2 strokes. We could, they could probably get away with it.
And I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Hello's a night.
Yeah. I mean,
Your Honor. I mean, come on.
Come on. This guy.
This guy.
And as they are getting the recovery done, that looked like an LO206 senior match out there. But we have got the shifters, and then we finally got LO seniors after that, so a couple of good races coming up here. And are those the shifters waiting out there? It's going to be a decent field of shifters. I don't know if we can zoom in any further there.
6 carts in the.
Yeah, that's Sean in the back. So that's definitely the shifter division. So I recognize that suit and helmet.
According to Race Monitor, we have 6 drivers. Chris Matthew, Jim. What is that?
And we still
Marshall?
I don't know if you remember that race we had 2 seasons ago.
Oh, it was like 20 shifters.
And we had like 27 shifters on. That was when Marion Kremers came out and set the track record.
Crazy stuff. That guy was fast.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that many shifters since, but that was crazy. The standing start with all those carts.
It was literally like a start of like a Formula One.
Yeah,
Grand
that was
Prix.
so cool. And that's the thing I love about these shifter carts is they do the standing start. And speaking of starts, I would love to see a Le Mans start.
Don't they do that for the Enduros?
Yeah, they do them for Enduros. I think LO Le Mans start would be cool for like an Enduro, like an LO206 Enduro race would be fun.
Well, I mean, they're not buckled in, so you don't have to worry
you can
about
just
that.
Run over there and hop in. Maybe not for the Masters and the Seniors. I think you might have some broken hips if you did that. But definitely an LO Senior Le Mans start would be cool.
Yeah, they shoot the gun. Everyone just starts walking. God, I don't care enough about winning to run.
And they're getting those shifters pushed out on track. So I think they're about ready to go. Yeah, they got to get those roll starts.
You're gonna
kind of like when your battery dies on a manual vehicle. Just
give it that bump start.
Get her going downhill, throw her in first, and dump the clutch. And these guys are very important to get some heat built up on this opening lap because they're going to start from a standing start. So.
Yeah, you can see right
heat,
when they got
grip.
on the track, they are constantly moving left to right, just getting any sort of heat.
They got to scrub those tires to get as much heat as they can because they've already got a couple cycles on these tires because they've had practice qualifying and a pre-final.
The shifters are so fast, and the way they go through turns,
they're so twitchy.
It looks like it defies the laws of physics.
Yes.
Like my brain can't understand how they make it through the turns like that, but they do. They'll make their way here on the back side of the track towards the grid. Like you said, these guys don't do a rolling start. They're going to do a standing start. So to the line, we get confirmation on which driver's which. It's just always hard to tell which driver's which on.
Yeah, get your. Well, you have glasses, so.
Well, my prescription's a little outdated.
I'm still in denial about getting old, so I have not. Every time I go to the eye doctor, they're like, "Yeah, you need glasses," and I'm like, "Yeah, and y'all want my money, so."
Get LASIK.
All right, looks like they're about ready to go. And they're going to be using that F1 light to start them. So she's pointing at the light. And you see that smoke, and there they go. They're off.
Green wide in the back. Woo!
And looks like Sean Hayes there getting around a couple guys at the back. So he's improved his position. Let's see. It looks like, is that? I believe that's Jake Fetter in the front right there. And then just behind him, he's got Oz Cheek the third and Oz Cheek the fourth.
Cheek family, always a staple here in the shifter class.
And I know Oz Cheek the third ready to get back after that terrible break there during the Masters division, or the Masters and the Legends. He had that lap one incident, and he just had to sit out there in the grass for that entire race and watch everybody drive by. So I know he's eager to get some laps in here. Probably better rested. Because imagine going straight from that into the shifter class.
So, yeah, that was Sean Hayes who he made that move, and he's up in fourth. So knocking on the door of a podium. Are we going to see a Sean Hayes podium?
Yeah, it'd be great to see.
11 laps to go. We'll see how they shake out. But, yeah, Jake Fetter.
He is already off to the races. Look at this.
Hey, if there's anyone who can give him trouble, it's going to be the Cheeks.
Yeah, it'll be either of the Cheeks. They are usually the ones we're watching battling up front. Good father-son duo. Single-handedly holding down the shifter division here for us at Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Guardians of the shifters.
And big supporters. Them and the guys at Eyes Up. But they're out running a national schedule this season, so on some of these races where we're doubled up, we're not going to see them out. But great to see this 6-cart field right now. And I don't recognize this guy standing in the door here. Did you get a haircut, sir? And that's your leader on screen right now, making his way through turn 9. And
that very snazzy purple fire suit.
Yeah, I almost thought that was Eugene Panenko, but they're on the same teams. That's that Kart Freedom colors.
Look at this. These 3 karts. That's about as close of a gap you'll ever see in shifter. These karts don't run bumper to bumper like the LOs.
This is looking more like a KA race right now with how close these guys are all running together. And look at that, Jim Mackle getting around Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes in the middle of this sandwich of karts.
And good to see Jim out here. He used to work for us up front in accounting, and he we always used to give him crap. We're like, hey, when are we going to see you out there racing? So, hey, if you want to hop in here, John, we got room for you. Always happy to talk to you, man. You racing up front today? Yeah, you too, man. Yeah. Got some friends up here in the booth. It's always fun coming up here. Track's hot today. They running up front. Saw some bikes out there.
It was a busy day.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of cool cars up front. Saw some Formula type kart. Sports cars, bikes.
And look at this, Jake Fetter. 2-second gap already.
Yeah, he's gone.
But behind him, Oz Cheek the third and Oz Cheek the fourth.
Still, kind of the best battle is here. These
These last
3.
two, Jim, Sean, and Chris Matthew.
Unfortunately, this isn't for a podium spot, but
it's for bragging rights right now.
now you have to remind me, do they pay out points per position?
Yeah, it's per position, so it doesn't matter whether you're up front or in the back. I mean, every position matters. So you definitely want to get them where you can. And it's a long season, 9 races. I have to check how many drop races they're doing this year. I know last year they did 2 with the 10 race season. Normally they just do 1 on an 8 race.
Do they scale the points for how, like, strength of field, or no?
No, it's just straight points based off of how you finish. So
Okay.
now strength of field would be an interesting multiplier. Like if you get a first, second, third on a day where there's 25 carts versus a day
because sometimes we
when
only
there's
get
like
2
10.
drivers.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of, you're automatically going to get a podium if that happens. But like on a day like today where there's 6 drivers, the strength of field should be higher.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. If anyone important is out there listening.
Hey, that's why I don't make the rules.
It's probably for the best that we don't make the rules.
Yes,
Will,
no, trust me.
We would have filled this place in with dirt, and they'd be doing figure 8 racing, and it would just.
You know me too well, Mikey. I seriously want to do some figure 8 racing in the rental carts over there in the paddock up front.
Yeah, I don't think anyone who works on the rental carts is going to want to see that.
Yeah, but everybody else. I just wanted to find, 8 drivers that'd be willing to even get in the carts and do it.
Will you get in the cart and do it?
I've had 4 back surgeries.
I'll say your back doesn't even work normally not in a cart.
I don't know if I want a 5th.
Well,
right now we are watching that battle for 4th position right now.
Jake Feder has checked out. So have the Cheeks.
Yeah, the gap's pretty solid, although actually, according to my timing sheet, looks like they're about down to about half a second from first place back to 3rd. So leader's starting to suck up. Maybe something happened to Jake Feder. He lost that 2-second advantage.
Yeah, something must have happened. I can't see.
Oh, there's some debris on the track. That looks like that slow down sign from the previous race. I wonder if that's maybe factoring into it some. Kind of like avoiding a deer on the highway, Or a coyote. I don't know. We saw several of those yesterday. That's that time of year.
We saw a deer up at the track here on one of our race days at the main track.
Yeah, we've seen a couple actually. But to be expected over the 5 years we've been up here covering the races.
Well, we are in the beautiful North Georgia mountains and woods, so wildlife.
We had that whole family jump across the track during that Spec Miata race, and they just barely clipped the last one.
Yeah.
But just like any good old cartoon, we showed him standing up and walking off there at the end, so he was fine. That we know of.
We got him off property.
Right now, watching that battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Maybe we go check in with the leader because it looks like they are kind of grouped back up a little bit.
See, this is where I'm expecting them to cut to the leader, and he's like putting the cart in the hauler.
Yeah,
already.
he's just already loading it up.
We cut to the leader, and it's drone footage of him leaving the track. He's already driving away. That's about how much of a lead Jake Feder has on the rest of this field.
Well, it's showing me on the scoring screen that he's only 0.4 seconds ahead right now.
There's just no way. I don't trust the scoring screen. It's lied to us.
Well, you can keep being a skeptic, Mikey.
Well, we can't both be optimistic.
Well, we got the guy responsible for scoring sitting right next to us right now. I'm sure that's why you're up here, right? You got your name badge on, so you're clearly working today. And you can see your leaders there coming across the bottom of your screen. There it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely not 0.4. Yeah, that's
3.2 seconds gap from first to second.
I'm just going off what it tells me here.
So I guess I was right.
And it's 2 laps to go here too. So we're laps going by quickly here in the shifter race. I forget how quickly these guys get these laps off. I mean, we're talking lap times in the low 50s, high 40s. Your current best time of the race, it looks like, is a 49.161, and that was by your leader, Jake Fetter. But right now, Oz Cheek is catching up to him. He's been running consistently faster laps the last 2 laps.
Could be the case of Jake Fetter just knowing he has like a 4-second lead, and he's just gonna save the card a little bit.
Maybe I just need to refresh my race monitor because that gap hasn't changed at all, and I know there's definitely more than half a second between them.
Well, you are right. Ozcheek has closed the gap a little bit, maybe about half a second. But still.
But that could be the gap between the cheeks.
Okay.
I knew there was going to be a joke in there at some point today, Mikey.
I thought we were adults. I thought we moved past
I think
this.
Michaela said she's going to get up and leave if I make one more cheek joke.
This is never going to top Bill's
cheek to cheek
at Lanier. What a special time that was at Lanier, man.
Yeah. Oh, that was
I'd
such
love to
a
get the
fun.
chance to go back there.
Last time we truly did some under the lights racing.
Jake Fetter takes
and
the checker
there goes
flag.
your top 3 past your screen, and let's see this last battle here between Jim Mackle, Sean Hayes, and Chris Matthew. And at the line, Jim is going to get it. Chris Matthews in 3rd, Sean Hayes, or not in 3rd, in 5th, and Sean Hayes in 6th. So looked like Chris Matthew having some issues with his transponder.
You know, even though those last 3 drivers missed out on a podium, they stayed pretty tight the whole race. So I know they're going to be excited about that close racing. Sometimes that's just way more fun than, you know, being out on a Sunday drive. Although Jake Fetter's probably pretty happy with his win. So.
Well, we got a guy sitting next to us right here. You need to throw a headset on. I want to know why. It's Easter Sunday. Why did IT Jesus cut his hair? I'm trying to, like, I didn't recognize you. You're standing there in the doorway, no? He doesn't want me to put him on the spot. You cut your hair, Mikey. Everybody's cutting their hair.
I didn't cut mine. I'm still.
Well, I guess it's been a little, like, what, 6 months?
Oh, it's been a while since my long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't ever go back to that.
Everybody's got to do it. Are you going to do it again? You going to grow it back out? No. Yeah, my wife said, if you ever. Is that what yours said too? No. Or no, you've got a little one. You're probably tired of the kid grabbing it. See, my kid never saw me with long hair.
I think we have enough time for a quick interview here.
Yeah, who we got lined up? This is LO senior, so we got at least, I know Carson Craig's got to be in there. There's got to be a few guys. Let's see who we got.
We're here with our next driver. Can we get your name, please?
Zoe Porter.
And what cart number are you?
I'm 07.
And what division are you running today?
I'm LO2 senior.
And how long have you been in this division?
9 months, I think.
All right, good luck today.
Thank you.
And that's Zoe Porter, the boss's daughter there. I'm surprised she's not in the 007. That's Jeremy Porter's longtime number, but funny that she's in the 07.
Maybe he was like, you can't have it.
Yeah. There's only one 007. I think we got Carson Craig here, too. Yeah, let's roll his interview. Carson's always a favorite of ours up here in the booth.
Here with another track regular. Can we get your name, please?
Freddie Omega.
Freddie Omega, which we know that's not right. Carson Craig, for all you at home. Carson, what cart number are you in today?
I'm in the number 55.
And what divisions are you running?
I'm running LO206 senior.
All right, and how long have you been coming out here?
About 8 or 9 years.
All right, good luck this afternoon. Hopefully we'll talk to you later.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Did you see he left him hanging there?
Yeah.
I'm going to call Steve about that.
Hopefully he doesn't leave us hanging here.
Carson Craig, yeah, one of our favorites. Great personality.
Yes, always having a good time out there. A
Green,
Will Bite
green,
Racing
green.
driver. And we are underway. LO206 Seniors of Mayhem as the field comes barreling into turn 1, or turn 2, through turn 1 into turn 2. Keeping it clean for the most part. Oh, I thought we were going to get some more 3 wide there, but we saw what happened during the Masters. I think these guys saw what happened too. Oh, a little bit of contact there. And that looked like 6th and 7th place kind of dusting up a little bit. And you see Banu getting by.
Woo!
Woo! Getting some air coming over the hill there. Yeah, we need that Dukes of Hazzard sound effect every time somebody does that. We need to play a little Dixie.
If they make it through this first lap without any problems,
that's the big
and
thing.
then the Masters didn't.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is just surviving lap 1, especially with these big fields. Turn 2 is so unforgiving. And here's a driver we haven't seen in a while, Banu Yedla. Look at that, your 4th place driver. He was taking advantage of some of that shakeup there on lap 1, able to get by some of those drivers. And look at that, Danny May already up to 2nd place, but your current leader, Wesley Bacon. This is going to be a good one, Bacon and Danny May. And right now, they are pushing and shoving as they make their way down the back hill. Right now, looking at that snake of karts, honestly, you know, I was hyping the Masters as being such gentlemanly drivers, and this is looking more like what we see with the Masters.
It is kind of backwards than how we normally see it.
But a pretty good 3-kart battle right now between Bacon, May, and Jarvis. And look at that, Banu, he's trying to make the jump up there to get with them. He might be able to do it. He's making the charge. Let's see, because they're all duking it out right in front of him. We're going to end up having a train here for the lead. Look at this, because Banu's got Carson Craig right behind him. Yeah. And maybe Craig and Banu can work together and, I don't know, make something happen here. Always love seeing Carson on the podium. Always love seeing Banu. We're not biased at all up here in the booth, so. You know, we got Mr. Al Edwards back up here in the booth. Yeah, right as you hit it.
That's how it goes.
Hello.
And we've got the man himself. Congratulations on the win out there. Good job.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
You look exhausted.
Very tired. It was really tough.
We tried giving y'all some love on the broadcast, but y'all got so spread in there and mixed in with all that chaos that happened on lap 1.
Oh, gosh, that was crazy, right?
How was that navigating?
It was like
all
parting
that?
of the Red Sea. When I came around turn 1, I saw it all go down. And so they hit the yellow flag, and I come around turn 2, and everyone's kind of pulling off, and I just shot right down the middle.
That was chaos. That's what we expect out of the seniors, not out of the Masters.
Exactly. Masters is turning into the next seniors.
I mean, heck, 25 drivers. That was insane.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we've had a little bit of a shuffle here. Will Cantor, who was in 3rd, has been shuffled to 8th. Wesley Bacon and Danny May are duking it out here for first position.
May just made the pass while we were talking, so he's your new first-place driver.
And Caden Jarvis there bumping into the back there in the braking zone of Wesley Bacon, but Wesley handles it quite well. Banu Yedler, you know, it's good to see Banu back. I mean, he was gone for a little bit.
He lost his ride during the end of last season.
Yeah, he did.
Happy that he was able to find one for this year. And right behind him, one of your guys, Carson Craig.
Yep.
I think the two of them are working together trying to catch back up to this lead pack. They're slowly reeling them in.
Yep.
Last time by, they were faster. And let's see, yep, there they are. Look at that. Banu and Carson both running faster times, so they are making.
Wesley Bacon and Danny May fighting at the front spot has slowed this first group up.
Yeah, these guys, look at this. Yeah, Yedla and Craig are going to be back in it here.
Fastest lap of the race.
It's going to be a 5-kart battle in a minute.
No, this is going to be, gloves are going to be off here.
And here comes Jarvis trying to go around underneath Wesley Bacon there in turn 4. It's a really risky maneuver because a lot of times you just have to, oh, here we go. We got Carson Craig on the inside of Banu Yedla. He's going to get him in the braking zone. He is going to stick it.
They are side by side, and he closes the door.
Way to go, Carson Craig, right there. Carson Craig going from 5th to 4th in front of Banu Yedla, but that is they are starting to close the gap here. It is going to be a 5-kart battle. Is Banu going to just sit back and let Carson Craig lead him to the front?
They're going to need to work together to close the rest of this gap.
Yes, they are, but look, they are closing it. It's happening.
These guys are moving. And let's see, Danny May, still your race leader. Wesley Bacon in 2nd, Caden Jarvis in 3rd. But right now, hot on their tails, Carson Craig, Banu Yedla. Look at that, Carson Craig running again the fastest lap of the race. So
yep, he's gone purple.
He has found some speed.
Well, the thing is that for all of us there in Masters and Legends, it really tightened up after halfway through the race. So we're
Yeah,
almost
we
halfway through
noticed
the race
as the
here.
heat started to build,
Oh.
everybody got close.
We got slow. We were running in the mid 102s, and all of a sudden we were in the 103s. And look at that, Carson Craig with a late break there, going into turn number 9, closing the gap.
Banu doing a great job sticking with him.
He is. Banu's helping him, that's for sure. Oh no, we got Juan Pablo Garcia. Looks like got into it with somebody else there. I recognize that helmet
On the backstretch, too.
Yeah, and they were starting to. You think that might have been a too wide in the kink incident?
Well, it looked like
Got
it was
too far
farther
down.
down. Yeah. Maybe a little rubbing.
Well, they were both just getting back up to speed as they were getting into that turn.
A little out of our
Look at
camera's
that,
views.
Carson Craig and Banu Yedla right there through turn 2. On top of it, Carson Craig might go to the
he's got a
outside
fender
here
in him.
to challenge Jarvis, but he's going to think wiser of it because that really can open you up for an inside pass through turn 3 and 4.
And Carson with a new livery this season. Not used to seeing him in purple out there.
Well, he's out there with the Wilbite colors, baby. Carson Craig looking the inside again of Jarvis. If Banu can catch up to him, might be able to give him a little tappy and get him through into 3rd position.
It is a 5-car race.
Yeah,
Sure
we
is.
just hit the halfway point, too. So 6 more laps of racing right now. As they're going to be at lap 7 next time by. And let's see here as they coming into the final turn.
Over halfway. Yeah, time has kind of flown by in this race.
Sure has. Coming up on the lap number 7, we have a 12-lap race here, and it's top 5 really hasn't changed at all.
Look at that, Carson Craig.
Oh, here we
still
go. Carson Craig down through turn 2, and he sticks it.
Oh,
but
he's
Jarvis
going around
is
the
coming
outside.
back on the outside. Let's see if Carson can keep his foot in it.
Oh, and Banu
Banu
goes to the
Yedla on
inside.
the inside squeezes Carson Craig out. Carson Craig is still sticking with it, saying, forget that, Banu. Whew. You done messed up, Rod, on that one. Here they come.
And look at this. The leaders are
Got
shaking it up
Wesley
right
Bacon
now.
going for a pass into turn 9. There you go. He
Hey,
sticks it.
Shoots it to the inside and able to shut the door. He gets the lead. Everybody's shaking up right now.
What happened? Gloves came off. Everyone.
We are shaking and baking here in LO206 Senior, literally and figuratively.
And I expect to see this for every lap until the finish.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we normally that's what we love about these LO206 Seniors of Mayhem. As they make their way down the front straightaway, lap number 8 in the books.
Yeah, it was like they all collectively decided to start, well, we're going to start fighting this lap.
Yeah. You know, that was just.
I think that was the gentleman's agreement before they started.
There was a lot of opportunity there, right? When Carson Craig went for that maneuver and now was too wide, Banu Yedla saw an opening that he could stick his nose in, and he did. And he gave Carson a little nudge there wide, but Carson just kept his foot in it and said, not today.
And Carson was the fastest driver in that group for 3 laps in a row, so it was his for the taking. And
and Carson Craig's really catching him here.
let's hope.
Look at this. Right back on top of him going through turn 9. Carson is right back on top of Jarvis.
He's fast today.
He is. Carson has found the speed. We've been working on some setup changes on that Eagle cart, and wow, he has really found the speed. He keeps on catching back up. He needs to be patient here. We're on lap 8 of 12. If he can drive a little defensively, but not too much offense, he might be able to take the 3rd spot here, unless Wesley Bacon and Danny May start to dice it up, and there's another opportunity where those two open the door for a double cart pass, which Wesley Bacon did in the pre-final.
Yes.
He went through down on turn 2 and yanked right by 2 cars. Unbelievable pass under braking that Wesley Bacon did.
Yeah, we're going to be running out of time here. We are about 2.5 laps to go as the leaders make their way past our vantage point here in the booth down the back straightaway.
And we also have a couple of Wilbite drivers further back. Will Cantor has moved his way from 8th to 6th. Lucas Caroba in 7th. Grady Hughes in 8th. Graham Jacobson in 9th. Tanner Dixon Hooper in 10th position. Rounds out your top 10.
And a great shot here from your FPV drone, Daryl Cannon, Killboy.com, as we follow those leaders through turn 14, 15 into the final 2 turns here, 16 and 17.
This is one of those races you wish there was 20 laps.
Yes.
And yeah, exactly. And here we go. We
But
have the
there's
2
only
to
gonna
go
be-
signal out. The 2 to go signal's out. We are now in lap 10. Actually,
I would say they
it's
got
3 to
the
go,
I would say
but
they got the popsicle sticks, but you're the one holding it right now.
I am
so.
actually. I really enjoyed that.
Kind of made me jealous when you walked in here with that
sorry.
out.
You know, it's as hot as it in here. Hey, by the way, someone call Swan Mechanical, would you?
Yes. Shout out to the sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely.
And right now, as those leaders going down the back hill through the kink.
See, now it's turning into a 2-kart battle here with Wesley Bacon and Danny May going into turn 9. Danny May is on his tail. And, wow, look at this. Danny May is losing a little bit of ground here. Maybe Jarvis is going to give him a little push. But Danny has a really uncanny habit of, you know,
here goes
Banu
Banu
on the outside of Carson Craig. Carson Craig leans on him.
They are rubbing fenders.
They are rubbing fenders together. Carson is going to do a late break. If he does it right, he could do it over under. But no, Carson out into the paint.
Into the wall.
Into the wall.
Oh, you hate to see that.
Should have hit the brakes earlier and done an over under on him. Carson Craig, unfortunately, out of the race.
And now we're going to be down to 4 in this battle for the lead. Last lap.
And let's see if a wheel bite driver can do it. We just got the 2 to go. Wesley Bacon, Danny May, Jarvis, and Banu Yedla, top 4. Everybody else, who knows where they are? They're seconds behind.
And let's see if Yedla tries to make the move here. Now that he's got some free range, he doesn't have Craig to get around anymore.
No, but he's lost a little bit of position here. He late breaks it going into turn number 9 and gets right back up on top of Jarvis. Here's Wesley Bacon. He's found some speed here, and he needs to defend from Danny May. Defend. Danny May on the inside.
Oh, and there goes the train.
He did not defend. He got the train. Wesley Bacon almost to 4th position. He goes to 3rd position from, wow, that was a tough break for Wesley. He should have moved way to the inside.
And Banu gave both of them the push, but he was not able to hang on as
man,
Danny May gets the win.
That's tough.
Caden Jarvis, 2nd place. Wesley Bacon led just about that entire race and lost it there in the final turn. But still good enough job to get the podium.
Yep.
Tough break, Al. Tough break for Wesley.
Well, it's it is what it is. You got to remember, Danny has that ability to get up on the inside of you. And if you drive defensively, we watched that a couple of years ago when we ran side by side, you remember, and I kept on defending him off. But we ended up side by side through the turn 9 complex down there. And I remember that it was Charles Head. He practically came out of his skin.
Yeah.
Because nobody ever goes too wide all the way through that section.
No.
Oh, wow. Here it is, the replay right here with Carson Craig. See, what Carson Craig could have done here is not played chicken. He could have backed off and set up and kept Banu Yedla on the inside and then swept down underneath.
But he stayed in it. Under. He was trying, but the second he got off road.
Holding. Once he got into the grass, bam, he's right into the wall.
Ran out of real estate.
That's too bad.
A tough break. Let's hope he's all right.
Yeah, he's fine. That's a pretty low speed there.
But he was so fast that race, too.
Yeah.
Yep. That's really a tough break.
To be honest, he was probably the driver to beat because he had one of the fastest karts out there, especially during the middle part of that race.
That's the thing. You can have the fastest kart, but you have to wait for the opportunity.
Yes.
They don't have enough power that you can just power by somebody. You have to wait for the opportunity. You're going to announce shifter. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's done.
All right.
So
bid you adieu.
Hats off to our winners there for that last one. And, Al,
always
appreciate you coming up here. And we're going to get
membership
director Sean Hayes here in the booth for a quick second, talk about membership.
Going to turn it over to Sean. Here you go.
All right. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Will.
You look beat, Sean. How was that out there?
I don't know if you can tell through the helmets. It is a lot of work driving those shifter carts.
Yes, it is. And I don't know how those guys, because Oz was in the previous race and hopped in and raced with y'all. So.
Well, he's a superhero, so that's kind of a special case. But for anyone watching at home, if you're seeing this broadcast thinking, how can I get into this? How can my loved ones get into this? I have a son, grandson, granddaughter, niece, nephew next door that I would love to see get into racing. This is one of the premier facilities in the country, and I would encourage you to look at our website, atlantamotorsportspark.com. You don't need to have experience to get started. We have classes starting from 5 years old on, and a ladder all the way up to the older guys like me that look beat when they get out of the carts.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun for all ages, and if you have any interest at all, I would love to help you get connected with that.
Well, awesome, and this is the place to start racing. You know, this is the place, if you don't have any experience at all, get a membership, come out here, start driving.
Absolutely, and if go-karts aren't your flavor, we do have a 2-mile road circuit. It is absolutely a gym. A ton of elevation change, feels like a roller coaster even if you're not a professional driver. Many of our members join, and it's just a hobby. They're not looking to be professional drivers, but we do have a very competitive club series. We do have racing schools on site that are SCCA accredited. So regardless of what your goals are, we have something for everyone.
Yeah, no matter where you're at in the ladder, we got a rung. You can come. You can come start climbing.
And if you're particularly laid back, we have some condominiums on the side. You can get a weekend place, really have a special retreat for your hobby, to enjoy your cars, to enjoy your karts, even motorcycles if you have a wild hair. So
yeah, we saw some of them out there earlier today.
Quite a few, and actually some of our condo owners out on the motorcycles.
Nice.
So living the dream.
And speaking of condos, we got some villas that, I get word, you're about to start breaking ground on that here pretty soon.
So those are very exciting. The villas are going to be a different format than our condominiums. What's very special about the condominiums that you already see on site is those were all individualized by the owners.
Oh,
so
cool.
The person who bought it made their own floor plan, picked their own furnishings, picked their own finishings, and it's really a reflection of their personality, which is extremely cool. The villas are going to be coming, you can see on the screen here, around that carousel turn 4, around the water tower. They're going to be a lot taller, and they're going to come pre-furnished. So that's actually a turnkey option for the members that didn't want to design their own and get into a remodel project.
I want to see a villa with a pool on the balcony and like an infinity edge, you know, where you get that cool picture. They're just lounging and all the racing going on in the background. That'd be cool.
You know, I like the way you think.
Well, we're definitely going to be watching the progress of this over the season, because these trees aren't going to be here for much longer. They're going to be breaking ground here pretty soon. We're going to see a lot of changes. Heck, we saw a lot of changes last year. I mean, we had the solar project, we had the lights, and this place never stops growing. And, you know, big testament to the strength of the club, you know, to what you're doing with membership and to everything we got going on here at Atlanta Motorsports Park.
And unfortunately, those young guys keep getting faster than me. That seems to be a constant as well. So thank you for the time, Will.
Yeah, no problem.
And again, anyone looking for information on our facility, AtlantaMotorsportsPark.com. We have information on everything, and we'd love to talk to you.
Awesome. Well, good job out there today. And that's pretty much going to do it for us here in the booth today. You got any final thoughts there, Mikey?
Yeah, just happy for the opportunity to hop in the booth. I don't always get to, you know, with Steve checking out early, but, you know, another day of racing here at AMP, it never disappoints.
No, it's always exciting out here. And, you know, big thank you to the crew, to the safety guys, to the track team. It is a colossal effort to put on these race days, and we couldn't do it without the individual efforts of so many people, more folks than we can name. And, you know, hats off to everybody. I love racing. I love being here. And I don't want this to ever go away. So you guys make this happen, and you make the dream possible for us to get up here to call these races, to have a good time, to showcase a lot of the up-and-coming talent that we have right here in the state of Georgia. And so always great to be a part of that. And round number 2 in the books. So we'll be back at it next month. What was that date, May?
For the doubleheader.
Yeah, for the doubleheader, we've got should have had that in my notes, Mikey. Yeah, May 17th and 18th, we will be out here for the doubleheader. That's going to be rounds 3 and rounds 4. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're going to be offline with the podiums here in a minute. So if you can hear me trackside, go ahead, start making your way over there. But for everybody at home, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it, and we will see you guys on the next one. So long, everybody.